I don't know. I guess, like, when you had those kind of plot holes back with those movies and stuff, since it was made for kids and it was geared towards just being fun and entertaining, it didn't stand out as much. But it's like they have these movies nowadays where it's like they make that plot hole, but the plot hole is something that is actually kind of important.
Right.
Whereas before it was like menial little stupid things, like the rules for the Gremlins.
Mm-hmm.
It's stuff that doesn't really matter for the plot necessarily. It's just, logistics, I guess. I mean, obviously we know that it matters because that's what transforms them, but like, I don't know. I just feel like it's not as glaring as the ones you get nowadays.
That's true.
Dude,
yeah.
Speaking of ruining movies for people, okay, I gotta explain to you why I hate Mr. Whitman, okay?
I hope he
You
listens
know
to
how
this
much-
podcast.
Huh?
I hope he listens to our podcast.
Okay, anyways.
Failed. No, I don't think you do that.
Listen. You know how much I love the Goonies, okay?
Right.
You know how much I love the Goonies. I love that movie since I was a kid. And he decides to watch it in class. I'm like, okay, cool. I got back from being sick, and we were only like maybe 10 minutes in the movie. I'm like, awesome. I didn't realize he was doing a whole psychology analysis over it, okay? So while we're watching...
Why? Why that movie?
Because apparently the guy in the little newspaper in the attic was supposed to be, what's his name? Freud. Some kind of psychologist, famous psychologist. And it's supposed to be based off of that guy and everything else. And his whole thing is
Freud. What's his name?
It's
in the movie, it's
J.R. Simpson or something like
Yeah,
that.
go.
Oh my god, it was like right on the tip of my tongue.
But Freud, and then everything, and then he keeps referring to One-Eyed Willie. He's like, don't read too much into it, One-Eyed Willie. And then he's like, he's supposed to be like, this is supposed to be Mikey coming of age. And like whenever they end up pirate ship, he goes, and he's skipping through the whole movie, okay? He keeps skipping through parts of the movie, and it's driving me up a wall.
Who does that?
Okay.
Why are you analyzing Goonies from a
Yeah.
I
psychologist?
don't know.
Okay,
And then he's
just
like,
having one character in there
man.
being a psychologist doesn't mean dick. He was a treasure hunter. The rest of the movie is just fun and entertaining. If you're gonna read that much into it, then you're a fucking idiot.
and then
Yeah,
he's
why would
like,
you pick the
don't
Goonies
read
of all
into
movies
it.
to-
Exactly. I mean, like, you're not supposed to read into it. That's the whole fucking point. I
It's
mean,
a- it's a family
it is a coming.
movie.
It is a coming of age.
That's what he
Yeah.
says.
movie.
He's like, this was made from adults for children. And then he's like,
so are all kids' movies. I don't see no 9-year-olds with a fucking camera and a
Yeah.
script.
listen. And then whenever they're going down the slip and slide, he's like, don't read into that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Don't read into what?
What is he reading into?
I told
And
you
then
guys,
he's
he's
like,
fucking nuts.
Dude, I didn't realize it until I came back.
If he
and I
is
was
reading
like,
into
okay.
the Goonies like that, then he should probably be like
Yeah.
pulled into some kind of thing for the schools and
I told
talked
you,
to.
Dude,
told you that,
it
quiz,
was
that
so
class should have been
bad.
called Whitman's Theory.
Well, it's not even just that. Like, those are sexual things that he's pointing out in this movie that have nothing to do with sexual things.
I know.
That's so fucking stupid.
Well, and then
But if
he
that's
has
Whitman's
the,
theory-
I can see.
Listen,
One-Eyed Willie, I can see where you'd pull that out from a psychology perspective and be
Yeah.
like, oh, this is a coming-of-age film for boys,
Mhm.
particularly. So, okay, One-Eyed Willie is the pirate, so that helps them to grow up. Okay, I can see where you can make that connection, but the fucking slide?
no.
on.
And then at the
This
end,
is like coming down the
listen,
birth canal.
Listen, and then Listen.
See how wet they are at the end?
listen, and then he's got the bag of marbles, right? At the beginning, he's like, "Remember that bag of marbles." And then at the end, whenever they dump the jewels out of the marble bag, he's like, "Do you get it? This is the family jewels. It's his bag of marbles." I'm like,
The fuck? That doesn't even make any fucking
you
sense.
are
Wow.
overanalyzing the shit out of that movie. If that's where you're taking it,
and I thought
you-
I was gonna
oh
have
my
a
God.
screaming fit with him because this is one of my all-time.
Is it
favorite
possible to
childhood
be
movies.
so dumb that you think you're smart? Because I think that's what he is. He's so dumb that he thinks he's smart.
I don't think he's
Dude.
dumb, but I think that using that movie to
Yeah.
analyze in such a way makes no fucking sense.
But he
it's
also
a
thinks
kid's-
he's intelligent.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
like
I'm,
the
I'm a
comment-
genius for thinking this.
Okay, but the
I'm
comment,
the only person that ever thought of using this movie, and yes.
Well, there's a reason, dumbass.
Yeah, because it's not.
Nobody uses the Goonies to like
Analyze.
do a psychological analysis. It was adults made a kids movie. Doy.
Of course the movie's about kids, coming into their own. That's the point.
Well, and then he said
There's
whenever
a
they
million movies out there that are like
Well,
that. And
and
I mean,
listen, okay.
oh, God.
Whenever they enter the pirate ship, he goes, "Now this is supposed to like resemble Mikey, like masturbating."
What the
Right?
fuck? No.
How?
And people walking in on him because whenever they walk in, they're like, he's like, "How long have you guys been standing there?" "Long enough, Mikey. Long enough."
It was a tender moment.
It was.
Oh my
That's
God.
what I was saying. What are you talking about?
I don't know about you,
ruined
but
this
whenever
whole
I was
part of the movie.
17 and masturbated, it was tender for me too.
And then listen,
But
he,
your
he-
friends to talk to you like that after you were
And then
done,
he-
that is fucking weird.
Been here long enough, Joseph.
and then listen.
Like, why didn't you guys pitch in then?
Whenever
I gotta use some extra hands.
Wait, what's his name? Or what's her name? The mom of the two bad guys or whatever.
Mama
Whenever she like
Fratelli's.
grabs
Mama
Mal's
Fratelli.
mouth
Mama
and
Fratelli.
like makes him spit out the jewels, he's like, "This part is highly inappropriate."
Only for people who are fucking pervs.
What is wrong with
I
him?
don't know.
When you make
okay?
those
I was getting
connections.
so heated, like I couldn't.
This is what they're
even
teaching our
enjoy-
kids in school.
That's what
Dude,
I'm saying.
I
This is
couldn't-
ridiculous.
I
It's
couldn't
fucking-
even enjoy the end of my favorite movie. What is? What?
That's weird.
I'm
I
so
was
sorry.
so
Anyway.
angry.
I'm so
Welcome
sorry.
back.
Hi.
Hey guys.
We are the Bonsai Movie. This is
It's movie
you guys
writing.
all know Jackson. He wanted to sit in with us on this one for Jurassic Park. Say hi, dude.
I know.
What do you mean? You know?
Hi.
I know. Then say it.
I know. Okay. Good.
Don't forget about them socials down there in the description and all that stuff. He wants some goddamn
I'm
candy.
working on it. They're a little hard to grab.
Like
See?
the jewels.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Should
like
we
the
read into
jewels.
that?
Maybe I should dump them out and tell everybody don't read too much into that.
And do you grabbing gummies from a bag?
This one's green. What does that mean?
It means you need to wash your balls.
Crabs.
Ew.
It means they're on their way to being blue.
You're on that.
See?
On the spectrum.
Why are you the only one that gets a fucked up one?
I don't know.
Nope.
Yeah, they completely missed the
Throw
fucking
on the other
I
spot.
had a
Another
weird
one.
one.
Hey, they're still gummy, right?
That's why I said they still taste fine.
I mean, it would be worse if it tasted like tart or something like that. You know, like,
Yeah, if
all
I
right,
did it
there's
like
something wrong with that
Lifesaver,
one.
If I've been into a lifesaver and it tasted like,
Or if there was like a fingernail in one, like
Ugh.
embedded inside of it.
Ugh.
could you imagine if you'd been in one, had a fingernail and it like embedded into your tooth?
Yeah. Sorry.
You know, like when you're
threw up
eating
a little bit.
popcorn, you get the kernels stuck in there.
Yeah.
You'd be like, "What is that?"
So,
oh my god!
as you can see, we have our Christmas tree back. I plugged it in and the lights don't work. So, something happened between now and last year.
we should get like a 10-strander. Just-
Yeah, I was like, well, I probably have lights, but fuck that. That's a lot of work. Because I'd have it's got lights on it already. I'd have to take the old lights off, put new lights on it.
Or you just string them. You
Huh?
don't have to
Just
have.
get any-
You don't have to put them in the.
Just get new string.
I know. I'm
That's why
saying
I
like
hate,
I'm
that's
like
why I
wrapping it.
hate the fucking trees that are made like that, where the lights are already on them.
No, they're not already on it. You can take them.
Oh,
lights
there's a
off.
string. Okay,
Yeah.
it looked like they were in the tree.
Yeah, I just didn't
The
feel like doing
pre-lit.
all that.
I can't stand pre-lit
I just
trees.
didn't feel like doing all that. It's a lot of work. And fuck that.
I
Anyway,
understand.
got some internet this week. I decided to go with some funny shit this week. I didn't want to do anything too serious.
Okay.
You know, I didn't want to really talk about Joe Biden pardoning his son. So even though we should, but we're not going to, because let's face it.
Well, you brought it up, so no, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I brought it up. So would you?
Would I?
Yeah.
No.
I would. Fuck it. The whole country hates me anyway.
Whenever I was 12, he
No,
said
the
if I
point-
ended up anything like my mother, he would disown me.
My point is like, it's supposed to be about what's best for the country. He set a precedent.
I know. He did lie. He lied his fucking face off. He said, I'm never going to pardon Hunter, blah, blah, blah. A month before he's out of office, what does he do?
All it is Hunter was a pawn for his reelection. And then when he got ousted, there was point one. And then point two, when she lost, he's like, why do I need my son to be in there anymore? He's not. If I was his son, I'd be so mad at him. Because you know he used him politically. You know he used him as a pawn. And then when it didn't work, then he's like, yeah, I'll get you out of there.
It's fucking terrible, isn't it? How that's where our political system is now. Especially on the Democratic
Sacrificing.
side.
I guess my point is like, okay, that he let them take him or whatever. And then he's using the same example or the same excuse as they always had for, that Trump said, he was being pursued and they were weaponizing the DOJ.
Right.
And they were like, that's not true. That's not a thing. They don't do that. And then when he gets Hunter out, that was his excuse.
Mm-hmm.
They weaponized the DOJ against him. Whoa. So my point is that you set a precedent, and now you can't back down, and you screwed your entire party.
He sees it as, you know what? The country hates me. I'm going to get my son out of this. Then I'm going to sit on a beach for the last 2 years I'm alive.
That's what I'm saying. It was a completely selfish move, and if his political party, he screwed.
What is it, sour?
Yeah.
He really did.
Yep.
100%. And he set a precedent that if, Trump does any of those things and they try to say, a bunch of bullshit about it, when he pardons people or does this or does that, they can't say anything now.
No. I still think he should pardon the Tiger King. Get him out of jail, man.
Is he still in jail?
Yeah, we need more people like him.
I would love to
Running
see a
around.
season 2.
I
I'll
would
be
love
honest.
to see a season 2.
I was
It'd be
glued to that
fucking
shit.
fantastic, dude.
I mean, part of it was, COVID, so
Didn't he
everything,
get
it was like
arrested
the
at the
one
end of
thing
that
going
show?
on that everybody was like, this is
Talking
amazing.
about this
yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give us a season 2. Let him out of prison. Or, you know what? Just give us season 2 of him in prison.
I think we should go after that bitch Carol Baskin.
Fucking bitch. We should bring that back. Whoa.
Fine. Whoa. What'd you do?
I didn't do nothing.
It decided stuff happens.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't know. It's good.
Probably. Okay, then.
Just decided, fuck you. Is it going into sleep mode? Is that what it's doing?
You gotta...
What's wrong with this thing? It's like...
If
Maybe
you
Did
do
he
some,
update?
some of the updates will redo your...
Well, don't do that.
I know. It'll
It's not
redo your
our
fucking,
fault.
lock
Jesus.
screen and your screen settings and all that stuff.
Screen. Okay, I don't know what that is.
She tried to steal one of my
Screen timeout.
things, and then she choked.
Are you... Right there. It says never. Never.
Well, never just became just a
Jeez,
few
you're
minutes
acting like
ago.
it's
Yeah, I
still
know.
another one.
Unless I don't know, whatever.
You gotta
Jeez,
look
you're acting
through
like
it.
it's
Anyway,
still another one.
I got some actual... Something's going on there. It's whenever I do this. Yep, it's my phone.
Get your phone away from it.
I think it's the magnet in the side of this thing.
It is. It does the same thing at school.
Why are you fucking with me, dude? I know not to do that
I
now.
also can't find my headphones. Sorry.
Those seem like you would really need them in witness.
So I've got some... I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Jubal in the Morning. Is that you guys know?
We watch or we listen to that guy all the time.
It's fucking... So, okay. So he does the call-ins for the second dates.
Yeah.
I've got a few of those.
We just listened to
We
one
listened-
earlier.
The one
Did
that
you?
he sent me.
This is the one I sent you? Yeah. So I've got
He sends them to me all the time. He's been doing.
They're
he's been
fucking
listening to it.
hilarious. Some of them are stupid hilarious.
Oh, he's been listening to it for like.
Well, the first
A
one I
year.
seen was they had a date or whatever, and then they kicked it, they hit it off or whatever, and then they started watching Dexter, and they watched a couple episodes or whatever. And then she went home the next morning and binged the entire fucking first season,
Right.
and then he found out about it, and it was like.
So
oh my God,
she
the
wanted
whole
a
fucking
second
thing.
date. She asked him about it, and he was like, "Well, you betrayed me." She's like, "What do you mean I betrayed you?" And he's like,
You went home and watched
he's like,
Dexter?
"Well, I thought we had a connection with Dexter because we were watching the first 2 episodes, and then you went home and watched the rest of it without me." And she's like, "Seriously?
That's what you're upset
That's
about?
why you hate me now or whatever?" It was a whole thing, dude, and it didn't just go from there. Like they were
So,
arguing. He
I
was
don't know if you
arguing the
guys
whole time.
heard... Okay, there's a couple of them. They're pretty fucking bad.
That one.
I don't have video. I just have the audio, which is okay,
Hello,
There is video for this,
Hi,
but
is
there is no
Paul there?
video.
this is he.
Hey, what's up, Paul? How are you? This is Jubal from Brook and Jubal in the Morning.
Okay. Sorry, who is
He
this?
sounds like it.
My name is Jubal, and I host a radio show called Brook and Jubal in the Morning.
Hi, how can I help you?
Well, I'm calling you today because one of our listeners actually sent us an email about you.
What?
It was about your laugh and how sexy it is. A lot of it was about your laugh.
Okay. Thanks for calling. I'm not really interested in just one of those prank call shows. It's
No,
very.
this is not.
I'm not very interested.
Paul, I promise this is not a prank phone call. They really did compliment your laugh in the email. It's actually from a girl that you went on a date with. Her name is Eileen.
All right, yeah.
And Eileen sent us an email about you because she really enjoyed the time that you spent together, but now you're not calling her back after your date. So she wanted us to get you on the phone and find out what went wrong.
Oh boy, seems like an odd way to do this. I don't really see how that's any of your business.
Well, I mean, I guess technically it's not really, but Eileen sort of made it our business because she asked us to call you. She just wants to know why you won't go out with her again. Can you give us anything?
It's because she's not a good person.
What?
We talked to her and she sounded like a great person.
Shit's fucking great.
Well, I went on a date with her, and I'm sorry, I don't see myself having a future with someone who's a murderer.
Wow, you went from bad person to murderer.
Whoa, murderer?
Well, you called me. What do you want?
I just would love to know how you figured out that Eileen is a murderer. That's a big claim.
Did you see her on like America's Most Wanted or something?
Look, she's very engaging and charming. We went out. We had a good dinner. We went back to her place. She invited me in. I don't normally say yes on the first date, but I was having a great time.
Yeah.
And then we went into her place, and she had a stuffed goose on the wall.
What? I thought you were going to say like there was a dead body in the freezer or something.
There was a dead body hanging on the wall. And I asked her about it, and she told me she's a hunter, all right? And she went hunting, found that thing, hunted it down, tracked it down, killed it in cold blood. And it's not funny.
Well, the guy in the back is just constantly laughing.
That would be me.
Well, you can
That'd be
see how
me.
I mean, it's kind of sounds that way because you called her a murderer, and then you're telling us
Yeah,
because
she is a murderer. Okay? Animal lives mean a lot to me.
But there's a lot of people that hunt for food and for recreation.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who hunt, and fine, that's their life. They can live that way if they want to. I'm not going to be involved with someone who does, and I'm certainly not going to be involved with someone who hunts just to put them up on their wall like trophies. She had a boar's head in there. There were ducks, like being in a horror movie, okay? I have no interest in dating a butcher, all right? I have no interest in dating a murderer. You can laugh all you want. Animals.
You can laugh all you want.
And she's a murderer. You take a life, no matter what, you're a murderer. You can tell her that. You can tell her that's why we're not having a second date.
all right, well, you know what, Paul? I don't actually have to tell her that you think she's a murderer because she's on the line listening and probably would love to talk to you right now.
Are you freaking serious? You're calling me a murderer because I like to hunt?
Yeah, I am.
I just don't understand. You were at my house. Why didn't you say something then? You literally said, oh, cool.
I was being polite, okay? I was being polite because I wanted to leave as quickly as possible. I don't know, if you're going to kill one animal, maybe you'll kill another one.
So wait, Paul, you left.
This shit gets even funnier.
I left because I was disgusted that she would take a life, yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's not like I was killing like an elephant. It's a fucking goose. They're vermin. Literally, you have to hunt them. Otherwise, they will cause problems like airplane crashes and car crashes. I'm doing everyone a favor. I'm saving tax dollars. You should be thanking me.
They fly into the
A lot of
engine.
tough talk from someone who has to hang birds on their wall to feel good about themselves.
They are a problem.
I don't
If they-
hang birds
yeah.
on my wall to feel good about myself. I do it because I love natural history and I love the idea of being proud of what I can do in my culture and my past. It's way more
You
beautiful than
love
just
natural history so much that you're just going to go out and kill it. That makes a lot of sense.
I just think it's disgusting that you would criticize and judge me based on something that brings me so much joy and happiness. My father took me hunting. It's a part of my happiest memories. Every time I look at the boar on the wall, I think about how great my childhood was. You know, probably how you feel about, like, I don't know, douching yourself or something.
This girl's a
was
savage, too.
The kind of discourse I expect from a murderer.
Discourse.
Because you are a murderer. I stood in your living room. I saw the bodies of defenseless animals staring at me. Have you ever made eye contact with these animals? I'm sure you haven't. You think you have, but you haven't. You haven't looked into their souls and seen the pain on their faces when their lives were taken by some woman with daddy issues who went out to go hunt just to feel good about herself.
Are you kidding me?
Say you have to give them credit though because they're not interrupting each other.
Like, have you ever been held down? You don't even know what you're
So
talking
just let him
about.
talk.
You're speaking out of
talk
your
over
mouth.
each other.
I'll say it takes a lot more to save a life rather than take a life, okay? You ever think about it when you stick a gun in those animals' faces, that they have families, that they're just like people? They have lives that you're destroying just so you can have some decorations in your living room?
Oh my God, Paul, thank you so much. You've made it so clear for me. I really get it now. Yeah, because last time I saw a fucking goose build a skyscraper like a human did, or the last time I saw a goose like solve a math problem like a human did. Yeah, they're just like humans. The next one I see, I'll nickname it Paul, and I'll remember that it has a soul before I kill it.
Hey, that leads
What a
me to my
fucking
question.
savage,
Paul, would you like to
dude.
go out on a second date with Eileen? We will pay
I
for
don't
it.
want to go on a second date with him.
Well, I know. I just thought I'd ask
Date
you.
men.
You
No,
sure made
no.
a lot of phone calls trying to get a hold of me. If you don't want to go on a second
Yeah,
date
she
with
didn't know you were a
lot
fucking
better.
fruitcake.
Leave it to a pussy like you to not even respond.
Leave it
I
to a
should've
pussy
known.
like you not
I
to
knew a little
respond.
girl wouldn't respond. A real
That's what I'm
human
saying,
being
dude.
like
Is
that.
like
Not-
fucking.
Good about yourself, and you need to get a radio station to find you a man. Wonderful. You're a real tough hero.
Whatever. Enjoy your fucking easy bake oven, you little bitch.
Paul, thank you for your time. Are you still there?
Of course not.
Oh my
Eileen, I think
God.
you scared him off.
Ugh.
Enjoy your easy bake oven, you little
Oh, I'm
bitch.
so mad. Like, I wasted wine on that idiot.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Oh my God, dude.
Wait, who
Listen,
was
like,
that guy? Was that just some random?
That was so okay. What happens is they call, so somebody will email them or call in and say, hey, can you find this person for me? Because we went on a date and I don't understand what went wrong because they ghosted me or whatever. So they find that person, get a hold of them while they're on the line, and they'll
Ask
figure out
them
what
why.
the issue is and why, and then by the end of the conversation, they'll ask if they want to go on a second date, and they'll pay for it.
I don't think I've ever heard one where they actually go.
I
on a
don't think
second
I
date.
have. No, yeah, I did.
You
I
did?
did one time, and it was because there was a complete like a retarded ass misunderstanding, and it was, I don't remember what it was though.
No, that's kind of nice though to know that
One of
they're
them did, yeah,
They're
it
not
did
always
happen.
like that.
I've scrolled through a lot of them, and that was like the only one though. Here, let's check this one out. I can't help it. I'm addicted to these fucking things. They're hilarious.
This is she.
Hey, Jessica, I'm calling you because somebody emailed us about you.
Was it my friend Karen?
I don't think so. I haven't seen one from Karen. I'll check though later to see if she emailed it. No, this is from Sean.
Oh my God.
You remember Sean?
You went out with Sean.
Yes.
Well, if you know the show, you probably heard a second date before, yeah?
I know my friend Karen does. She's like obsessed with you guys.
Okay.
So that's why I asked if it was her that emailed.
Oh, gotcha. Well, a second date is where if you go out on a date with somebody and then end up not calling them back after, they can email us to get you on the phone and find out what happened. So Sean emailed us and told us about the night you guys hung out. And
I think
is
if her
very
friend knows
confused
about the
why
show,
you
she'd
ditched
know he's
him
already on
in
the
your
phone.
apartment, and also why you won't call him back.
Wow, he told you that. It was not great. I honestly wish that this had never even happened, and I can't believe I'm reliving this on a radio show right now.
It has to be worse than not great. I mean, to leave a stranger in your apartment.
Wait, so can you tell us what happened on your date?
Okay, so me and Sean went out, and I had a very weird feeling from the moment that we got together. Like something was just off.
Is that why things were awkward at first? Because he told us about your date. He said things were obviously awkward between you two at the beginning of it.
Yeah, I just had a weird feeling, and I guess that like carried into how the date went.
So wait, like weird feeling, like you felt like it was a serial killer? Because that's how, whenever I say weird feeling, I feel like someone is bad.
Not that I thought he was going to kill me, because I would have like left
Okay.
at the restaurant if that was the case. But when he said, "Hey, this isn't going well," I was relieved. You know, like I was relieved when he suggested that we leave, and I asked him to walk me home, and things got.
You got a weird feeling, but you asked him to walk you home.
Right.
And enjoying
Well, she
ourselves.
said she didn't get that vibe that he was like crazy or anything.
I don't care if I'm getting creeped out by a guy, regardless of why. I'm not going to ask him to walk me home. I'll call my friend Karen.
He just said that
Come give me a ride, bitch.
going up to
Karen
you
calling
guys
Karen.
better, and then after you guys
I was using that
started
'cause she-
hanging out,
Yeah.
and you left. You didn't hear from him.
Yeah, well, there was a moment where we were sitting down and he dropped his phone And when he reached for it, he said, "Oh, corn nuts."
Okay. This is after you guys have hooked up or before?
He told you that. God.
Weird feeling, was she hooked up with him too?
After.
Well, she said whenever they got back to the apartment, things were going better.
This is after. So he drops the phone. He says, "Oh, corn nuts." And I realized that's something that one of my uncles used to say all the time.
Okay, so it reminded you of your uncle or something?
Well, that uncle has a son named Sean.
Wait, what?
So are you thinking that
What?
Sean is your cousin?
Yes.
Shut up.
I'm still not 100% sure, but I hadn't seen him in a while, if it was him. So I just panicked. I panicked and I left.
But you know what your cousin looks like, right?
I mean, I haven't seen him since we were children.
Oh.
People evolve.
And all Sean's kind of look the same.
That too.
So you think that he's your cousin and you went out with him?
That sounds so much worse when you say it.
Hey,
I'm your
where's
sister.
cousin Sean at?
Your sister.
What's the likelihood? Yeah, live in another country. Give me some hope.
I honestly have just wanted to pretend that this never happened, and that's kind of been my
Until she's
approach.
pregnant and it has
I
hooves.
understand that.
You slept with your cousin.
Stop. Please stop saying that.
Oh my god!
It's mortifying.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that'd be embarrassing. Why don't we,
I'm going to be sick.
you know what a good idea is? To check with him and see if he actually is your cousin, because he's on the other line listening to this and wants to talk to you.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. Sean, are you still there?
Jessica, oh my God.
Oh my God. Did you hear all that?
Yeah,
Did you just hear all that?
I did. Are you Hank and Lily's daughter?
Yes.
Oh, you fucked your cousin.
Oh, corn nuts. How did you not recognize me?
It's her fault.
You not recognize
It's her fault.
Your hair was so short before.
hair grows.
When was the last time you guys saw? I mean, I know the last time you guys saw each other, but when was that? Before that, when was the last time you guys saw each other?
I don't know, like 15 years ago. Oh my God.
Wow.
In the first date conversation, none of this came up. Like your family history, where you're from. Like those
No
are things
shit.
we normally talk about. Like what your parents do.
I mean,
No.
maybe that's why it was so awkward, because we didn't think to use those conversation starters.
Yeah.
Did you know the whole time, Sean? Did you know that she was your cousin and you just hoped she wouldn't find out?
No.
I'm just saying. Like he's like, maybe that's why we didn't think to do those things.
Look, Jessica, I had no idea you are very attractive and you're a great kisser.
What's wrong with you?
I'm waiting for him to ask the, but we're not first cousins, so.
No, but they are first cousins. That's the thing.
That was a
Right? It's
joke.
Oh.
good to compliment people.
Cause he's like, you got a great
I'm
smile.
just grossed out by this.
Come on, let's just have some babies.
I'm
See
not
how it
trying
works
to be
out.
gross, all right? I don't know what to say right now. This is uncharted territory.
No, it's not. People do it in Kentucky all the time.
Say that you're going to act like this never happened so we can move on with our lives?
And go to the next family
Reunion.
reunion and have everybody talking about it because you guys just had this on the fucking internet.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it is
Why? Did you?
No.
Like, I wouldn't even have this conversation. I just hang up. If I knew why I didn't want to be with somebody or I didn't want, I just hang up.
Jessica,
Ain't none of
you
your
want
fucking
a second date with
business.
Sean?
I'm not telling the world.
Is that legal?
is that even legal?
No, obviously I never want to see him again.
Just for the record, Jessica, I feel horrible about this, and if you want to meet up over coffee or something and talk about it, I'm
No, I don't
down.
want to meet up over. No, I don't.
This dude almost sounds like he's trying to get another piece of
That's
that
what I
cousin.
said. I'm waiting for him to say, but we're not.
Well, Sean,
So.
I'm sorry both of you had to learn about that date. But Sean, no second date.
Great. I lost a cousin too. Thank you.
Great, I lost a cousin
That
too.
one is probably the best one I've ever heard. I mean,
I've seen that one a couple times just because it's so funny. What? What? I don't know what you're talking. You got to speak up, dude. I'm right here. What? What? All right, I'm done with
you
you.
want to write it down?
What?
He's saying start.
Start what?
Dude, talk.
Talk, man.
You can talk. Nobody's gonna
Start the podcast? We did. We are. We're recording right now.
No.
He wants to talk about Jurassic Park.
We have a
Okay,
way.
well we have a process down here that we go through, and the first thing we do is we talk about shit on the internet. And then from there we talk about the creator profile. You just sit back, chill, and let me fuck you. All right, I'm fucking this cat. You hold the head. Tail, whatever.
Tail's better.
Whatever.
Gets everything out of the
It's
way.
better than my cousin.
When you said, I was waiting for you to say, "Let me fuck my cousin here."
Just make sure mom doesn't find out.
You watch the door.
Is this?
I think we've seen this one.
559.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're not Ross.
Who's this?
This is Jubal from Brook and Jubal in the morning on Moon 92.5.
Okay.
Do you know Ross?
Not really.
Can I be honest with you? I'm having a hard time believing that this is not a guy named Ross. Or somebody that told someone else their name is Ross and gave them this number. I'll tell you why, okay? Because one of our listeners recently met you
I haven't seen
online.
this.
This is the number they have. They said your name was Ross. You had a profile set up and everything.
Have you guys seen this one?
I have.
Yeah.
This one's fucking hilarious.
And then you ditched them at a pizza place.
This is probably my favorite one.
What? What's so funny?
Wait, no, is this?
I know what's going on. Trust me.
I don't. Can you tell me?
Yeah.
I was just getting her back. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
You're getting her back.
yeah. It was pretty ingenious on my part, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I showed you
You
this.
sound really proud of yourself. Explain to me what you're talking about.
Well, Tina broke up with me about 6 months ago. We dated for off and on for almost a year. I caught her cheating with another guy, so, I thought I'd have a little fun.
Wait.
Yes.
So what did you do?
I used a picture of some other guy. I messaged her. We messaged back and forth. So I figured I'd send her a little wild goose chase 2 hours away.
Oh my god!
Wow. So you catfished.
I'd do the same.
Yeah, bitch deserved it.
Pretty much.
all that work to just make her drive 2 hours away and sit at a pizza place by herself.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, you've never heard of like the high road, taking that?
No.
She missed out on the high road about 6 months ago. So,
You sound really proud of yourself.
Should be.
Well,
That's
I didn't
genius.
know you were going to emphasize it by calling a radio station. This is great.
So that voice right there is Sheena.
I love it.
Childish dude. I'm like.
She broke.
In your face, by the way. You're looking around, oh, where's Ross?
A child.
Sheena, is this?
Wow, that really hurts. My goodness.
Thank you for reminding me why I'm not with you.
Sheena, is this really your ex-boyfriend?
Yep. You wonder why, right? You wonder why.
You cheated on him.
Really cheat on him like he's accusing you of?
Yep.
It's not black and white. It is not black and white.
Yes, you did.
That, there it is.
Okay, well, Sheena, you found out what the issue is. Your ex-boyfriend wanted to get revenge on you and make you drive 2 hours. to
You're a
meet
cheating
some dude
whore.
that he made up.
Maybe you should meet Ross later. Shut up. I guess you get what you reap. You reap what you sow, or however the hell it goes. You got it, girl.
Wow. Hey, at this point, I would love to ask you, too, if you would go on a second date. I'll pay for it.
Oh, kill
Ross, you can go out with Ross.
proud of himself right now.
That's crazy. All right, so I'm assuming neither of you want to go out with each other. No? All right. Well, Sheena, there you go. That's what happened, man. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
And what is your real name, Ross?
My name is Derek, and I feel very good right now. Thank you.
Sheena, how do you feel? Sheena? Sheena hung up.
Made my whole day. I mean, you really did.
Well, you're welcome, man. Hey, your hard work paid off, I guess.
Made your day, ruined Sheena.
Payback is...
Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the emphasis on my practical joke. Bam! Thank you.
Might go down as one of the best ex-revenge stories ever.
That was cool, guys.
Yeah, not for her, but for sure.
Yeah, I love that. Like
for her, but sure.
the whole thing. She's like, she's real quiet, and then she's like, "Well, it's not black and white." Okay, there's our answer.
There's our answer.
There's the fucking
You're a
answer.
cheating ass bitch.
And you can't get mad because
Yeah.
you got sent on a wild goose chase because you are a cheating whore.
Yeah, that shit's funny as fuck. I don't
Hell
care
yeah,
what
it
anybody
is.
says. And I love that he's like, dude, seriously, you called a fucking radio station over a guy I made up. Over a guy that's made up. It's awesome. All right.
Sun's twitching.
Jackson's over here freaking out like a crackhead. I think he wants to get into the movie. But unbeknownst to him, we actually got to get through our creator profile
It's an
first.
entire show, man.
It's a show, man. We got segments here we got to get through. So, that being said, shh, listen to the music. Just the vibes. Just the vibes. It's funny because we were telling him to talk this whole time. And as soon as he talks, I'm like, shh.
Shut up!
Listen to the music.
Hurry up and talk.
He was like
Shut your mouth when you're
spelling
talking
what
to
he
me.
wanted to say.
Yeah, he's like trying to write. I'm like, what the fuck? Just say
I know.
it. Just say it.
I thought he had paper for the first second. I'm like, wait a minute. No.
Yeah, why
he's
we even
just
give
a
you a mic
crackhead.
if you don't talk? You gotta talk into the mic, though.
What's with this piece of hair?
That one you have to practically be on top of.
Yeah, no shit. You gotta talk into it.
Like you. No, don't eat it.
Don't eat it. Don't touch it. All right. Anyway, anybody want to guess who our creator profile is this week?
Sam Neill.
No, I considered him though.
I like Sam Neill. Laura Dern?
No,
Sam.
Samuel Jackson.
no, actually, I thought about him too.
Fucking
Sam.
Wayne Knight.
No,
Who else is in the fucking movie? Jeff Goldblum.
No, we already did.
We
that.
already did Fly. That's Fly.
yeah,
Yeah, I think so. And then she was Earth Girls Are Easy, I think. Or
I
we gotta
think
put
he was
flopped.
Earth Girls Are Easy.
You
and
might,
she
yeah,
was-
because we were excited about doing Jeff
Yeah.
Goldblum, so I think we did that one first.
no more nothing. No.
Yeah,
The
nothing.
kid.
Oh yeah,
The
Joseph.
boy.
Oh shit! What'd I do?
Joseph wanted to do Joseph.
Hold on. The kid? No, no, it's not him.
I have no idea.
The girl.
Oh,
The fucking director,
Oh.
Steven
Spielberg.
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 Gotta do Spielberg, man.
good on him.
What? I mean,
Is
you
this
gotta
the
do
first director?
our first director that we've done.
No,
we've
we
done
did
Jordan
Wes
Peele,
Craven. We've done
Wes Craven.
Jordan Peele. We've done
Uh,
John. Did we do John Carpenter? I think
We did John Carpenter. Or yeah,
And we did. We did.
we've done a couple of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't always do actors. We've done a few, like
We've done a few
fucking
directors. We've never done any writers. I don't think.
artists.
Oh, we did a makeup artist, yeah. But you could call him an actor too,
You
Tom
could.
Savini,
But I would
No.
say he's more recognized for his.
for sure. Yeah,
Didn't he- Is that the guy who did the Walking Dead stuff? Or is that someone else?
Tom Savini. I think
Yeah.
he was.
Greg Nicotero.
Yeah,
KMB.
Oh, that's
I
right.
was
Yeah.
gonna say
think
Nicotero did all that.
I think that Tom Savini he did some of it though, because I think him and
No, I think
Nicotero are friends.
Nicotero worked with him, like he was an apprentice or something.
That's what it was. Yeah, you're
so
right.
because I don't think that he did anything.
No, Tom Savini did a lot of shit back in the day. He did.
He's done a lot of.
He's worked for John Carpenter.
Yeah.
He's worked for George A. Romero.
Yeah.
Hell, he directed
The remake.
the 90
Yeah.
version of
And then
Night
he
of the
also
Living Dead.
he's worked with Robert Rodriguez. Did a bunch of his shit. Like, hell, he was in fucking From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, and he does a lot of he doesn't just hold those like to his chest either. He teaches people how to do it.
Yeah, and
So
that's one of the
I
cool
love
things.
that. Yeah,
he's got
he'll
a
find
school.
something and be like, oh, that's cool, that works, and then he'll
Yeah.
show it to other people so that it's not just him making
Yeah.
the great, but he's recognized for it because like you can look at something and go, man, that is great work, and especially in the older movies, you can tell when it's Savini and when it isn't, for sure.
True, yeah. I love that it's Steven Spielberg and we're talking about Tom Savini.
Yeah, we get a little off track when we think about Savini.
Dr. Seuss? Really? Dr. Seuss wrote children's books.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we were talking about writers.
Oh, I meant like movie writers.
Dr. Seuss.
He's not a movie writer.
Technically.
The Grinch.
Technically what?
The
He came up
Dr.
with a
Seuss
story
Grinch?
for the Grinch.
He didn't write the movie though.
That doesn't matter.
Anyway.
Still-
All right, go ahead. Read
I
Steven
only got
Spielberg.
someone that's on my level. Anyways. Tom, is that his first name? No, that's Savini. Wait, what's this guy's first name?
Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg.
It doesn't say, it just says Spielberg.
Okay.
It's not my fault you didn't name the document.
That
Do you
was
even know that
It's
made it?
unprofessional.
he did name it though.
He did not. This
He
is
named it
untitled
Spielberg.
Document.
No, it just says early career.
Oh.
His name is right there on the fucking screen. Just read this
Spielberg.
shit.
Oh yeah. Anyways, early career Spielberg.
Did you
Nope,
fart?
messed up already.
Smells like fart.
Smells like
And I know how
blueberry.
you are. You're like a silent but deadly kind of kid.
No.
Yeah. You farted, didn't you? It's okay. Everybody thinks it's funny. Right, guys? It's funny. You farted, you little shit.
No, I didn't.
It's not the milk.
That's-
No, is this chocolate milk?
Yeah. It's the bottle.
No, it's fart milk.
Kind of tastes like it.
It's 'cause it reminds me of
Is that hot chocolate powder?
No. It's out of the milk. It's a half gallon.
Okay.
it's half gallon of chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Come on, read it.
Yeah, we're talking. I thought I'd let you finish talking. Spielberg was born on December 18th, 1946 in Cincinnati, Ohio. He's an Ohio baby.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
He's about to turn.
He looks like an Ohioan.
About to turn 78.
I was gonna say he's old. God dang. Spielberg moved several times growing up and spent part of his youth in Arizona. He became one of the youngest television directors for Universal in the late 1960s. A highly praised television film, Duel, 1972, brought him the opportunity to direct for the cinema. And a long string of hits have made him the most commercially successful director of all time. Josh. Hello.
Josh. Josh.
Josh.
Okay, we got fucking
Josh.
Sean Connery over here. Josh.
Josh.
Hot shingles in my area.
Anyways. Jaws. It's like jazz. Jaws. Anyways, the color purple and, oh my gosh, Schindler's List?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I pronounced that right?
Sure.
I was kind of debating on whether I should go Schindler's or Skynler.
Nope, it's Schindler.
Glad I went the other way. 'Cause I'm a
Skynler.
complete idiot. Sorry, I felt something on my arm. I thought it was a spider. Freaked me out for a minute. Anyways, this would be where Eric would clue in the. It's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a douchebag. Anyways, Spielberg's film.
I'm waiting for like him to dress up like a giant spider one time and just roll in here like that.
I'm waiting to come in here and just find a spider on my seat. Like, the day that happens is the day, like, you see me and Eric
I think we all go in
seats.
together and get one of those like spiders
I
that you
hate
can
all
press
of
the
you.
button and it
We
jumps.
sell those at work.
Huh.
We sell
Oh,
the
yeah.
ones that move at work. They
No.
don't jump.
No, I mean like one of the more realistic ones, like that have like the air.
Oh, the
Not
air,
electronic.
The air pump.
Yeah, the air pump. He knows what I'm talking about.
I don't.
All right,
He
come on,
watches
read.
Too much YouTube,
Just
so-
read.
I'm
We're behind on time
having
here.
a conversation. Spielberg's films have explored primeval? Sure. Yeah. Fears, as in Jaws 1975, or express childlike wonder at the marvels of the world and beyond, as in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. 1977 and E.T. 1982. He has also tackled literary adaptations such as The Color Purple, 1985, and The Empire of the Sun, 1987. I got the hiccups now. Audiences around the world were riveted by the continued adventures of his daredevil hero, Indiana Jones, in such films as Raiders of the Lost Ark, 1981, and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, 1984. Imaginative fantasy is dominant in Spielberg's Peter Pan-inspired Hook, 1991. I loved that movie when I was a kid. While Jurassic Park, 1993, and its sequel, The Lost World Jurassic Park, 1997, rely on traditional action and monster horror sequences. Spielberg is also known for his impressive historical films, the Holocaust drama Schindler's List. I forgot how I pronounced it before, I'm not gonna lie. 1993, starring Liam Neeson as a businessman who helps save Jewish citizens. Won 7 Academy Awards, including Spielberg's first win as Best Director in 1998. He revisited World War II, this time from the perspective of American soldiers in Europe in Saving Private Ryan, 1998, which earned him another Academy Award for Best Director. His first film company, Amblin Entertainment?
Amblin.
Okay. Which was founded in 1982, produced several other successful movies, notably Back to the Future, 1985, and its 2 sequels, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, 1988. Advertisement, continue reading below. Sorry. Dad, what's going on there?
Copy and paste happens.
Is that like some alien type stuff?
No, it's some fucking advertisement with a picture. I don't know. I highlight everything, copy and paste. That's what it is.
Sounds like nonsense.
If anybody wants to know where I get these from, this one's from biography.com.
DreamWorks and Sci-Fi Adventures. In 1994, Spielberg formed a new studio, DreamWorks SKG, with Jeffrey Katzenberg? Sure. And David Geffen?
Yeah.
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 It was later bought by Paramount Pictures in 2005. In 2001, he completed the science fiction outing AI, Artificial Intelligence, a project begun by Stanley Kubrick. Later films include another sci-fi adventure, Minority Report, 2002, and the Academy Award nominated Munich. 2005. He also served as a producer for the Clint Eastwood directed World War II films, Flags of Our Fathers, 2006, and Letters from Iwo Jima?
Iwo Jima? Sorry.
Anyways, 2006. Spielberg reunited with George Lucas for the latest installment of the Indiana Jones saga in 2008. Spielberg directed the film, which featured Harrison Ford reprising his role as the famed famed adventurer in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Oh my goodness.
School, like the shit you put in your mouth. Skull.
Anyways, Spielberg has helmed 2011's animated The Adventures of Tintin.
Yeah.
Based on the popular comic series by Hergé.
Sure.
It was his film version of War Horse, 2011. However, that one had more critical acclaim. The movie received 6 Academy Award nominations. In November 2012, Spielberg debuted another legendary film project, Lincoln, in which he directed Daniel Day-Lewis in the biopic of President Abraham Lincoln. Joseph Gordon-Levitt played son Robert, and Sally Field portrayed wife Mary Todd Lincoln in a much anticipated, much talked about drama that was ultimately nominated for 12 Oscars, winning 2.
You know what I hate about all these adaptations of Abraham Lincoln? They always got Mary Todd played by some skinny bitch. That bitch was big. She was a big girl. She was heavier set. But like I remember in I don't know if you've ever seen Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
I've not seen the movie.
No,
she has the book.
it's an entertaining ass movie for one. But so they've got Mary Elizabeth Winstead playing her in that, and I'm like, that girl's like an action star. You know what I mean? She's like fit as can be. And then in this, they got like Sally Field playing Lincoln's wife, and like Sally Field's like a toothpick. So just it boggles me that they're never like accurate with the way that how big she is.
And they're always so hell bent on making sure that whoever's playing Lincoln looks right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and who better than
Daniel Day-Lewis?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. In addition to directing, Spielberg has been instrumental in numerous projects as an executive producer. He has helped bring such television shows as Terra Nova, Smash, Falling Skies, and Extant to the small screen. Spielberg also served as executive producer for the record-breaking. Oh my goodness.
Record-breaking?
Your inflection's all messed up today.
Yeah, 2015 blockbuster Jurassic World. Anyways, later that year, he released another directorial project, the Oscar-nominated Cold War thriller Bridge of Spies, starring Tom Hanks. The two had previously worked together on projects like Catch Me If You Can, 2002, and The Terminal, 2004, as well as Saving Private Ryan, The Post, and Ready Player One. Spielberg again tapped Hanks for a leading role in The Post, 2017, pairing him on screen with acclaimed actress Meryl Streep.
Meryl
Streep.
Good fucking God. Madison, you're on a movie podcast. That's Meryl Streep.
You know how many times you said
She's
that?
royalty in the world of acting.
How many times you said that?
I'm not saying that she needs to be royalty, but she is.
I liked her in Death Becomes Her.
Yeah.
The movie centers on the actions of the Washington Post publisher Streep and editor Hanks as they attempt to go public with the Pentagon Papers.
Cheeto.
A portion of a Defense Department commissioned report on military involvement in Vietnam over the objections of President Richard Nixon's administration. Spielberg was strongly drawn to the contemporary relevance of the story, which earned a Golden Globe nomination for Best Director and an Oscar nod for Best Picture. Along with delving into the issue of governmental cover-ups, the Post explores the treatment of women in the workplace. I need a motivational purpose to take any movie, Spielberg said. When I read the first draft of the script, this wasn't something that could wait 3 years or 2 years. This was a story I felt we needed to tell today. On the other hand, Ready Player One, 2018, marked a return to action and adventure. Based on the best-selling book by Ernest Cline, the CGI-infused spectacle tells the story of a teenage orphan and his friends' attempts to crack an elaborate virtual reality game that immerses users and the audience in a world of 80s pop culture icons. Another blockbuster hit, Ready Player One, grossed nearly
grossed
$500 million worldwide within 3 weeks of its March release, showing that pushed Spielberg's career Spielberg's career total above the $10 billion mark. In April, it was announced that he was teaming up with Warner Bros. DC Entertainment to bring the World War II era series Black Hawk about an ace pilot and his Nazi fighting squadron to the big screen. Spielberg was on board to produce and potentially direct the adaptation. Awards and honors. Along with his 3 Oscar wins, Spielberg has received many other honors. He received the Irving G. Thalberg Memorial Award for the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences in 1986. In 2004, Spielberg received the Directors Guild of America Lifetime Achievement Award and the French Legion of Honor in recognition of his work. The following year, he was inducted into the Science Fiction Hall of Fame. In November 2015, the iconic filmmaker was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor. Among his charitable efforts after the February 2018 shooting at Florida Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. He announced he was donating $500,000 to the March for Our Lives demonstrations the following month. Married twice, Spielberg has a son from his first marriage to actress Amy Irving. He has 5 children and 2 stepchildren with his current wife, Kate Capshaw.
Alrighty then. Favorite Steven Spielberg flick?
Hook.
Hook? What about you, Jeremiah?
It's going to be a toss-up between Jaws or Saving Private Ryan. I'd probably go Jaws and then Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
I really like Ready Player One and Hook, so one of them, I don't know, choose your day, I guess.
Okay. I think for me, I really like Hook, but the World of Worlds remake was fucking fantastic.
I haven't seen that.
I love that movie. So I'm gonna go with the World of Worlds remake. Have you ever seen it?
The one that had Tom Cruise in it?
Yeah.
I might have seen bits and pieces. I don't think I've ever seen it all the way through, though.
Yeah.
It's Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen it all the way through, but I think I've seen bits and pieces here and there.
Yeah, I love that movie. Ever since the day it came out, I was just like, I don't know why. I've even seen the remake or the original and everything, but
I've seen the
original. That movie is so fucking good. I don't know why it's so good. It just is. I think it's the whole feel of the movie. It's definitely this sense of like some dread, and I don't know, just like the full aesthetic of the movie is just great. And I love Tom Cruise. I don't care what he said. I don't care what anybody's got bad to say about him. I love Tom Cruise as an actor. Anyway, I don't know about him as personally.
But you can say that about any actor because they're
Yeah.
all probably assholes behind the scenes.
Yeah,
so
I
who
mean,
cares?
He's just great. I love
I don't
watching
understand
the
when people get
movies.
so up in arms about actors like you know them. They call you
Right,
home like your
right.
friends.
Yeah.
Like there's plenty of actors out there that I like, but I'm not going to defend them. I don't know them on a personal
Yeah, I
level.
used to be obsessed with The Rock's movies, all his movies and shit, like in his earlier bit
Yeah.
of career.
Yeah,
And now
I
I'm
can see
like, I
that.
see him, I'm like, I don't really like you that much. He's probably a better person now too. I don't know. Fuck, I don't know, man. I don't know him. I don't give a shit anymore.
I can tell you they can seem nice and maybe they are, but I don't know them.
Yeah.
So I have no.
Well, look
stake
at
in the
Ellen
game.
DeGeneres and what happened with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, she used to be. Everybody thought she was like, the bee's knees, and
The bee's knees.
I never thought she
Yeah,
was the
it's true.
bee's knees.
I've never liked Ellen.
She had a great.
I thought her show was okay because she really had fun with her show, but like,
I loved Fake Being Sick in Mississippi because they always had it play in the doctor's office.
I like going to the doctor's office and dentist's office because they always got Dr. Phil on.
Or that one, yeah.
Dr. Phil's the shit.
Or like going to grandma's house and seeing Dr. Phil on the TV or Ellen DeGeneres. They had that on TV sometimes, and then if I went to Granny's, Ellen DeGeneres was normal.
I remember I was in there getting my mouth worked on one time, and the dentist wasn't even looking at me. He was looking at the TV watching Dr. Phil. He's like working on my mouth. He's like, "Do you ever watch Dr. Phil?" Yeah, sometimes. Not right now, though.
Can you maybe watch my mouth? Jesus.
But anyway, moving on. Let's
talk about the movie.
There you go, buddy.
There we go,
are.
man. We're going to talk about the movie now, Jackson. Okay? We're going to talk about the movie. You ready to talk about the movie? Okay.
This fucking
I don't know why we did Jurassic Park. I'm like, everybody knows it's a great movie.
I was surprised by a few things this time.
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah. 10 out of 10. No, not really.
Definitely not.
Not a 10 out of 10.
No.
It's good. It's better than all the other ones. I know that much.
I don't remember the other one. I saw the second one, and I saw the third one. And I don't think I've seen it.
I just remember
past that.
hating the other one.
I've seen all of them except for the very new one. I like them for the most part, but this is by far the best one.
Somebody took a bite out of it.
All right.
I did.
Go around the table. Or, sorry, Karen, plot synopsis.
I was starting to choke. A wealthy
Are you gonna
entrepreneur.
read into that? Are you gonna read into that?
Maybe. Probably. We probably should. We should probably take in 10 minutes and just go through the whole
Psychology
thing.
analysis. All right, everybody team up.
A wealthy entrepreneur secretly creates a theme park featuring living dinosaurs drawn from prehistoric DNA. Before opening day, he invites a team of experts and his 2 eager grandchildren to experience the park and help calm anxious investors. However, the park is anything but amusing as the security systems go offline and the dinosaurs escape. PG-13, 2 hours and 7 minutes. Sam Neill is Dr. Grant. Laurie Laura Dern as Ellie. Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm. Richard Attenborough as Hammond. That's as far as I'm going to go.
Could you imagine if at the end of the movie it was just like, and that was the theme park? What'd you guys like it if it was all just a ride?
Oh, kind of like on House on Haunted Hill in the original, or in the remake when they had the elevator ride or whatever.
Yeah,
and
they're all, yeah, exactly.
He's like, this is where it gets really scary.
Yeah, like the whole thing was actually, you were in absolutely no harm at all.
You know,
other than my
people-
kid getting, my grandson getting fried on the fence, but.
Yeah, you would think like a lot of people get really upset about that, but if your like spectacle is good enough to like make me think something, or like, I would be like, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Like the grandkids were like paid actors.
Yeah.
Like if it was something like that, like and you get to the end, you're like, I shit myself.
Just think about it.
I literally shit my pants.
I shit my pants.
It's kind of like have you ever seen
on your part?
Have you ever seen the movie The Game?
Yes.
Just like that.
Yes, exactly.
Just like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
The Game.
Oh, it's
yeah
good.
with
Michael
Douglas.
Yeah, you should watch that. Oh my god. It's
Michael
so
Douglas and Sean Penn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Somebody recommended it to me. I'm like, this movie looks fucking stupid.
And the whole time you don't know. You
Yeah,
can't
and then
figure it
by
out.
the end you're like, holy shit, that's amazing.
Yeah, you're like, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should watch it definitely.
All right, we're gonna go around the table. Would you watch Ricky Rayman? Yeah, I said some words there.
Yeah, I read between the lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes and yes.
Yeah.
Jackson, would you watch again, and would you recommend that people watch it?
Yeah.
Okay, talk into the mic.
Yeah.
And would you, for both, like you would watch and recommend?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I would definitely. If you haven't seen Jurassic Park, get a fucking life, man. Go watch Jurassic Park.
What the fuck is wrong?
Who in the fuck has? It's been out for
They probably live
20
under a rock if they haven't.
31 years.
31 years, and if you haven't seen Jurassic Park, then you have been living under a rock.
And I only know that because we were talking about it when we were watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Because Jack was talking about it.
What's that, Jackson?
I said, if you haven't watched it, you're probably living under a rock.
Yeah.
And then you said it.
Oh, did I? Oh, my bad. Well, you are my son, so I mean, we think
I
a
just
lot
found
alike.
out the other day how babies were actually made.
Just now? Late
She
bloomer,
thought,
huh?
she goes, I was like, technically, you're more mine than you are your mom's. Because I made you. I said, your mom, I was like, look at it like this, Madison. It's like when you make a cake. You're the one who makes all the ingredients and puts it all in a pan. The oven is your mom. She just baked you. That's it.
Technically, she carried her whole life, though.
Yeah, okay, well, the oven carries your cake for an hour, so.
I didn't realize that the egg was just like an incubator, though.
Yeah, she thought that was like,
well,
you needed both.
That
Like
do.
Adam.
Well, you do, but I'm saying like it's an incubator essentially. The sperm goes in there, it incubates inside.
I mean,
the
I'm
egg.
not trying to like poke holes in your theory here, but I was a pre-med. The egg is 50%. The sperm is 50%.
Told you.
Creating 100% baby.
I disagree.
Disagree.
All right, Karen, would you watch? Would you recommend?
Yeah, I've seen it before. I
Yeah.
tell
yeah.
people to watch it.
It's fucking
It's a good
Jurassic
movie.
Park.
I mean,
What about you, Jeremiah?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you? It's
Yeah.
Fuck
Jurassic
this
Park.
movie so hard.
This movie sucks, man. I don't know why people like it.
So stupid.
We're gonna be Robert Ebert here for a minute.
Anyone who recommends this to me is dead to me.
You should watch Jurassic Park. We're done.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
know what?
Done.
I never
I
want
want
to
a
hear
divorce.
your voice.
Fuck you with
Never wanna
everything
see
that
your
fucks.
Face.
You get married, live together for like 20 years, have kids. Have you ever seen Jurassic Park? I love that movie.
Get out.
It's over.
You know what? I want
Fuck
half
outta
your
here.
stuff
Yeah.
now.
It's like that. It's like that. That fucking comment, that review that we read. Fuck you with everything that fucks.
Yes. Literally the best review ever.
Anyway.
For when you
All
watch
right.
a movie, especially.
We are gonna spoil the shit out of this movie. If you haven't seen it, good God, go watch it.
I guess so.
Go ahead, Madison, read it.
All right.
You ever think they get tired of hearing her voice?
No.
Can
Man,
I
she
read?
reads
I think it's
everything.
sort of like one of those things
No,
where
no,
everybody
because
has
it
a...
takes forever.
I think it's just one of those things where everybody has like a thing that they do, right?
Could shorten it a little bit.
So this one here is not as long as another one. The other one that I got was like fucking forever long. It's like there's no way.
then why can't I read?
Well, but by
And that the one that I found originally was twice as long as that.
There's a
That's
couple things
terrible
that
for his 2-hour movie, and it's kind of intricate, so
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
terrible.
2 hours.
there's a couple things that are going to be brought up either by me or her. I guess whoever gets to it.
I got it all written down.
Shorten the plot.
We'll get there.
Oh, that could have like shortened the movie down a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah, we'll get there.
It is a long movie though.
And it would have helped, actually,
Well,
in my opinion. But
go ahead.
You're not gonna explain to him how this works.
She's gonna read the movie, and every once in a while we're gonna interrupt her, and then we're gonna talk about the movie. So if there's ever anything that she's whatever part you want. If she comes across a part in the movie that you want to talk about, just stop her and we'll talk about it. Okay?
Don't say stop, because if you tell me to stop, I'm not gonna stop.
Just start talking.
and I'll stop.
Interrupt her essentially while she's reading. Yeah, I like that part. If that's what you want to talk
it's the best
about.
ride there.
It was the best ride. I love watching little kids get hurt.
Come on, buddy, wake up. You made me
Both times I was like, he's like, did that kid die? I was like, yes.
The kid
part-
was like,
The part in the car where it falls into the tree, he's like, is he dead? I was like, yep, he's dead.
now that kid is probably like my favorite actor, or my favorite character in this movie, Tim.
The part where he's walking into
Such a
the...
nerd.
Well, he wakes up, and the first thing he says is 3.
Yeah.
If I got shocked to
two,
shit
one,
like that, I'd be like, take me to the hospital.
I'm fucking dead.
Yeah. He's like, 3.
He does have
Kid
a
had some
very
balls.
positive
Outlook
on life. He's
He
like,
really
well, I'm not
does.
dead.
Yeah.
At least I'm not that guy.
And he got, in a car, and the T-Rex knocked him through the thing, and he landed in a tree. Like, this kid, if I was him, I'd come out there just like,
Yeah.
I'd
twitching.
be afraid of all dinosaurs, but this kid's like, hey, look at that one.
Funny part is that kid
one
didn't do a lot of acting
Yeah,
after
he
this.
did.
He
He's
did a
still
little
acting to
bit.
this- no, he's still acting to this
I know,
day.
but he doesn't do a lot, though. That's
No,
what I'm
but I'm
saying.
just saying, like, I didn't know that he was still
he's
acting.
like our age or older.
Yeah.
37, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's around.
He's got to be older than that.
No.
No, he looked it up because he said something about what's that kid done since this, and I was like, I don't know.
He's got to be old. He's definitely older than me. Because you got to think, how old was he whenever he did this movie in
He was
93?
9.
9? I was, in 93, I was
So he said 31,
7.
so he's 40.
I was 7.
Because it was his 9th birthday during filming.
Oh,
I know that.
41. He's
41.
my age.
That's what I'm saying. So like he I found that out during trivia was that it was his 9th birthday when they were filming the kitchen scene, and he got hurt by one of the because I didn't put it in there because there's so fucking much, but it took me all day yesterday to trivia. There's 695
Oh my god.
facts.
How many did you write down?
Not that many.
600.
So yeah, I left 95 of them out. I thought they were stupid. No, but like he got hurt by one of the raptors. Like he turned or whatever, and it was where it wasn't where it shouldn't have been, like not on its mark or whatever. And he like got hurt, but not like seriously. So then like Steven Spielberg was like, "Well, this is a good time to do this," and he got everybody over there. They sang "Happy Birthday" to him, gave him cake and all that.
that's
So
cool.
it was his 9th birthday, so that's why I know he was 9 when they filmed it.
Sweet. He's been complaining this whole time.
I know, now that we're into the movie, he's like, can I go to the bathroom? You're as bad as Jeremiah. He pees a lot.
He kind of has an excuse though.
What do you got in that cup?
He's looking at
Not during the show. I got up once. A long time ago. And that was towards the end.
Yeah.
Hurry up, man, go. We're going to go without you, though.
See that look on his face? Fine then.
Alrighty then. On the volcanic. Yep, he's walking away. Alright. On the volcanic island of Isla. Oh my god, Nublar.
Isla Nublar.
Isla Nublar. An engine employee. Engine? Sure. Employee is attacked and killed by a velociraptor, possibly a pack leader known as the Big One, while attempting to transport it to a heavily fortified enclosure. This prompts the worker's family to file a lawsuit against the company, and it successfully scars Engine's investors into thinking that the park is not safe.
You would think that they would have had like a locking mechanism for the cage. Like it gets up, it butts up against it, and then there's a lock.
There would be something there, yeah.
To hold it in place.
Yeah. I know that whenever this, because of this opening scene, the guy was black, and there was a big uproar about this back in the day. About the fact that he was the first person to die in the movie.
Everything's got to be about race or something.
Well,
right?
this, I don't know if it was like, around the time that the movie had come out, or if it was like later on. But I know there was a big uproar about it, about how the first person to die in this movie was a black man. I'm like, why does it matter?
I don't think that it was necessarily.
I bet that dude's like,
purpose.
yeah, fuck it,
He got a
I'm getting
paycheck.
paid. I'm sure he didn't give a shit. You know what I mean?
He's like, one day of acting, or one day show up, and then I get eaten and die.
I made $5 grand.
And I'm getting like $5 for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. The easiest paycheck you ever got.
No shit. Yeah, eat me. I don't give a fuck.
You just need my arm to like pull
Said
through.
every
I got you, man. I'll get
prostitute
here.
ever.
No, prostitutes do not say that. Prostitutes are not there for their pleasure. They're there for his pleasure.
Name your sex tape.
What?
Nothing.
Did you say name of your sex tape?
No.
For his pleasure.
For his pleasure.
Maybe your sex tape.
Hey, I got like we just said, I got paid.
I'm gonna text Crystal later. So I got a question.
Are you happy at home?
Yeah. Blink if you.
Oh my gosh. The CEO of InGen, John Hammond, decides to reassure the investors by bringing up a group of experts to his park to gain their approval. Among the group, he invites paleontologist. I got it!
Mm-hmm, sure.
Jesus! I'm just kidding. Not really. Paleontologist Dr. Alan Grant and paleobotanist Dr. Ellie Sattler. Two scientists whose digs he's been funding. Ian Malcolm, a mathematician, or Template W as he calls himself.
When did that ever come up?
I don't.
I don't know.
I don't.
So there were a lot of parts
Who the
in this with Jeff
fuck wrote
Goldblum that where he's talking and I can't understand what he's saying because he's mumbling the whole time.
I never had that.
Like the part in the Jeep whenever they're sitting there and he's showing her the fucking thing with her hand, and I'm like, he's talking. I'm like, what is he saying? What is he saying?
Which, like when he puts the drop on her hand?
Yeah, and he's like talking to her.
He's like talking really
He
fast.
said, okay, so which way is it going to go? And then she pointed it away, and then it didn't go that way. And then he said, okay, so we'll do it again. And they did it again, and he said, now which way is it going to roll? And she picked the way that the drop went the first time, which was the back of her hand. And the second time it went like towards the side. And he said, that's chaos theory. So there's always little things that you're not considering or you're not taking into consideration when, you have things happening. So he explained to her that the reason that the water didn't go in the same direction is because there's tiny little imperfections in the skin. There's, hair. So always it's you can't put it in the exact same spot. It's going to, run into different obstacles because of your skin. He was just explaining those things to her and kind of hitting on her at the same time. Because when he said imperfections in the skin and she looked at him like, and he's like, of course we can't see them.
Right, microscopic.
Yeah.
What a tool.
I love him.
Dude, he was down for the count for most of the movie.
do not care. Like,
He's
Jeff
such a tool in
Goldblum
this
can
movie,
do
though.
no wrong. I don't care. Like,
He's hitting on that dude's wife right in front of him, like
they weren't married.
or whatever.
Yet? Question mark?
Well, they're not
remember if
married
they
in the
were-
second one either,
They're
or
not?
the third one, I should
I
say.
don't remember if they ever get married.
I don't think they do. And the third one, she's with somebody else.
Yeah, they part ways.
All right.
She left him for Ian.
And his
No, actually, they show her
investors,
husband in the
lawyer,
third one.
Donald Gennaro. Meanwhile, in Costa Rica, hello, it's Dennis Nedry, sure, is meeting with Louis Oh my gosh.
Wait, did anybody
Dodson.
else pick up on the fact that he said, I own an island? This was when he first met Grant and Ellie. And he said, I own an island. I leased it from the government. Those two things don't go together.
No.
I noticed that when he said it, and I was like, you own it or you lease it? Because those are two different things.
Yeah. And how do you lease them? That's an expensive lease.
Well, you'd have to lease it from the government, which is what he said.
yeah.
But, like, if you lease something like that and then the dinosaurs wreck it, I feel like you owe a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
If he owns it, that's a different thing altogether. But he said leased it. He said, I own it, and then I leased it from the government.
So I could only imagine that with what he's doing genetically and all that on this island, that it's got to be highly illegal. You know what I mean?
You'll see, that's where I'm fuzzy, because if he owns it, that's one thing. But if he's leasing it, then he would have had to given the government
He's got to have some
like his
kind of
business plan or
yeah.
like
Well,
whatever
he's also got to
planning
have
do.
some kind of government contract.
Well, my thing is, it's like if he doesn't own it, like he's done a lot of damage to that place. Like he brought in not only animals that are extinct that are going to, wreak a lot of havoc, but they also planted a lot of plants and stuff that haven't existed in 65 million years or
Yeah.
whatever. And like she mentions, like this hasn't existed for this long or whatever. But then, like, they act like that's no big deal, but really, that is a big deal.
Ecologically, it is a big deal
It's a
because,
huge deal.
like, say, flourish of those fucking plants, like, drift across the water, and they decide, well, they're going to start growing like wildfire on the coast or whatever. You know what I mean? Then you got a fucking problem.
Yeah.
So.
Plants can be every bit as invasive as animals.
All right. A rival scientist of engine working for Biosin.
Sure.
Is that the other bio company? Biosin?
Yes. Dennis is a programmer working for John on Isla Nublar, and has recently become dissatisfied with his treatment by Engine. Dennis agrees to steal dinosaur embryos for Dogon.
Are you raising your hand?
That is one of them.
What?
They could have did away with that entire subplot.
What?
Him stealing the... Like the whole Dennis Nedry arc.
They could have, but he was the whole reason why things went awry and to begin with.
He didn't have to be.
I get that. It
It
could have
actually
been
makes more sense for the storm
to have shut things.
because the entire
that's got to be because that's got to be there's got to be a fail safe there. You can't just expect that a storm can come through and just wipe out power. Like, oh, we're fucked now.
Yeah.
That's not how that works.
No, I'm sure that they're going to say that there's like a failsafe or something, but there were a lot of failsafes that failed. And the point,
They only failed because he
overwhelming-
made them fail.
the overwhelming arc of this movie, the overwhelming message of it, is that we don't own nature. Nature owns us. We
Right.
can't control it. We can't control it, no matter how hard we try. It would have been much better for that storm to have knocked it out, because it fits in with the theme better.
I disagree. I feel like with it being on an island, a tropical island, there's going to be a lot of storms. They're going to have lots of fail safes in place and implemented for just that reason.
But it would just been another mirage of Hammonds. He keeps saying over and over again that we spared no expense. Yet, at every turn, there are things on the surface, like the cars and the way the place looks and all of that. Those things look perfect, chef's kiss. But then you look at all of the underlying things that they did or didn't do, like Nedry. He doesn't pay Nedry enough. But Nedry has the keys to the kingdom literally in his hand.
That's one thing I will say I didn't understand is you're not paying this guy more money even though
Well, it's explained in the book.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Hammond is a dick. Hammond is a complete... He's not your grandfather. He's not a nice
Like
guy
kind of a
in the book.
power-hungry prick.
He uses his grandchildren in the book. Like he brings them to the island so that the investors and everybody will be calm. Because, look, I brought my grandkids. This place is safe. And then when they go missing with Grant and everything, he doesn't give a shit. Because he's so focused on how am I going to save my investment. In the
Which
book.
he almost comes off that way in the movie, too. There towards the end.
They softened it quite a bit.
Until he says, I've decided not to endorse your island, and he says, neither do I.
Neither have I.
Neither have I. And I'm thinking, like, yeah, that's the only time you've ever said anything remotely close to
Well,
being
he kind
a nice
of does.
person.
He kind of does when they're eating the ice cream. He hasn't fully given up yet, but he's there. Like he knows that this isn't going to work, and you based on the conversation that they have, you can tell. But in the book, I guess I could talk about it in trivia. We don't have to do it now, but
Your son's being weird.
What?
You're being weird.
I'm not being weird.
I'm doing this.
It's being very
Okay.
fidgety.
Go ahead and read.
Anyways, the group assembled by John arrives on an island via helicopter, then takes 2 jeeps out into the park where they come across a I hate dinosaur names.
Brachiosaurus.
Sure. And a whole herd of hadrosaurs.
Sure.
Okay. To their utter amazement. John then takes his stunned guests to the visitor center where
That was the tune. Everybody knows that tune.
they see the birth of an infant velociraptor
Yeah.
and learn that Engine was able to recreate dinosaurs using DNA taken from mosquitoes who had feasted on dinosaur blood and had been preserved in amber. The DNA taken from the mosquitoes was spliced with DNA from frogs to fill in the gaps in the genetic code. Engine scientists only cloned female dinosaurs, thus eliminating the threat of uncontrolled breeding of the animals.
Except, this is one where they spared no expense, which means he had the best scientists. You're telling me not one of them knew that some frogs can turn into...
I know.
the
I
other
thought the same
sex?
thing. Like, hold on. Because I know you've got frog specialists. You've got scientists who specifically... They're specified
There
in
had
frogs
to have
and
been somebody
amphibians.
that said frogs would be a great link.
Catalyst, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a great link to put in there to fit in the missing pieces. But you're telling me that there wasn't one person, because the person who brought up frogs would know that they'd have to be a certain
type of frog.
Or a
one
certain
that couldn't
type,
change
the
their
DNA
sex.
has to link,
Yeah.
right? So whoever brought it up had to know something about frogs, and you're telling me that they knew enough that the DNA was going to work, but they didn't know enough that, hey, don't use that one. Don't use that kind of frog.
But you know who did know? The archaeologist. The guy who doesn't study frogs.
Exactly. That's my.
The
that's
guy
what
who doesn't
I'm
study
saying.
frogs knows that some frogs can change sexes.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
It makes
that didn't make any sense.
No.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a plot hole there. That is a big plot hole.
They are taken to the Velociraptor.
Hold on, I want to stop
enclosure,
you. One thing they could have done is said they produce asexually. Because some amphibians and lizards do produce asexually
That's true.
without sex. Like, they've used that plot.
I don't know about do frogs, or is it just amphibian? Like some amphibian. Like I know there's
I'm not
certain
sure.
types of gecko or whatever. They
Yeah.
can.
So, they've even used this. They use this. I don't know if you ever watched the Godzilla from like 1999, the one that everybody hates, which
Yeah.
I
Matthew
don't.
Broderick.
Yeah, I like that.
I didn't
one.
think it was terrible.
I like it. No, but that movie. So that's what they say is that Godzilla. The reason why he was able to,
Oh yeah,
because it was able to produce
I remember that now,
asexually.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah. Now, why couldn't you just use that in Jurassic Park?
I mean, but then they would be able to breed pretty much at their own. Like they would,
Right, and that's one thing. They're like, well, we take that out. We of course, but that's just
It's a
another
great
plot hole.
fail safe, but
Yeah.
but again, it goes to show that life finds a way, right?
Yeah, but also they could have just left it out completely and said, well, like why have this whole thing about them having babies to begin with? Like it doesn't serve any purpose.
No, I disagree. I think that was a great, like another one of those ways that they were trying to control it.
I get it,
And it
Yeah,
would
I
have been
guess,
a great.
yeah.
It would have been a great control.
He
had
was
it
trying to
worked.
play God, blah blah blah.
Well, it's not just that.
and it's also a good holy shit moment in the movie.
They pointed out so many times throughout the movie when that he says oh God, Ian says it and it's really really good. It's God creates dinosaur, God destroys dinosaur.
No. Laura Dern says that.
No, she says it after he's done.
Oh, yeah.
He says God creates dinosaur, God destroys dinosaur.
Oh, yeah,
God
that's right.
creates man, man kills God, man creates dinosaurs.
Yeah, and then,
she
she
says woman or
dinosaurs kill man,
woman
women
inherits the
inherit the
earth. Yeah. But it's a great point, right? That like the overwhelming thing about this is that life and nature finds a way. And to constantly be trying to control it, all of these little controls that they put in there, I think it's great when they point them out because they are good controls. But it just shows further that we aren't in control. They aren't in control.
Right. Interesting. Go ahead.
All right. They are taken to the Velociraptor enclosure at Alan's request, but they meet park warden Robert Muldoon. Robert tells the group about how vicious and intelligent the raptors are. He explains that there are only 3 raptors altogether because the big one, who was taken over as the alpha female, had killed all but 2 of the others, a total of 8 raptors. Meanwhile, the scientists lower a cow into the it wasn't a cow, was it?
It was a steer.
No, that was the T-Rex.
That was a bull.
Okay.
Huh?
The goat.
Oh yeah, the goat was the T-Rex. Yeah.
I gotcha. All right. Where was I? Meanwhile, the scientists lower a cow into a dinosaur's enclosure and observe it eating the cow, destroying the support cables and fabric harness in the process. After the experiment, the scientists head indoors for lunch. During lunch, Alan, Ian, and Ellie start to express doubt in the park after the initial shock has worn off. Ian questions the ethic morality of cloning species that have not lived for thousands of years. Ellie expresses concern that
Thousands, you mean millions of years.
That the scientists may not be thinking of the repercussions that might occur from what they are cloning. Alan remains fairly neutral on the issue, though he advises John to be careful. Donald is the only one who completely approves, thanks to the amount of money they can make.
I was gonna say, he was all negative until he saw those fucking dollar signs.
Uh-huh.
Fucking lawyers.
Hammond puts in eloquently, I don't believe it. You're meant to come down here and defend me against these two characters, and the only one I have on my side is the blood-sucking lawyer.
That was a pretty good line, though. The only one I got on my side is the blood-sucking lawyer.
Mm-hmm. That's what he does. Too.
That's got to be a red flag,
I was gonna say, that should have been red flag.
That's a red flag, like, yeah.
After the lunch, the team will start on a tour through the park. The visitors are toured around in electric tour vehicles. John's grandchildren, Lex and Tim Murphy, also take the tour. Both of them instantly take a liking to Alan, who doesn't appreciate the attention as he dislikes children. While on the tour, a goat is released out into the wild, close to the fence, to attract the dinosaur and eat it, while the visitors observe it. The tour goes disappointingly, with most of the dinosaurs failing to appear. Ellie leaves the tour to take care of a sick Triceratops with the veterinarian Dr. Harding.
That's the other one. That's the other one.
What?
You could have took out that scene because it went absolutely nowhere.
Oh, you mean with the Triceratops?
Yeah, because she says, "Oh, I'm going to stay behind."
It didn't go anywhere.
No, they never
It
mentioned.
is explained in the book.
Yeah,
and
she
I don't
said it
know
was
if
explained in the book, but
yeah, I don't know if they ever meant to get back to it, or they did, and then they cut that scene. Again, I'm not making excuses because you know how I feel about that.
Right.
But it's a beautiful scene because you actually get to see.
They get to actually interact with the dinosaur.
It's a beautiful scene from the fact that you can actually see them touching the dinosaur, being there next to it, and it's so cool. But it leads nowhere.
Yeah.
It's a dead end.
Yeah, she's literally there and I'm going to stay here for a while and examine blah blah blah. You think it's going to go somewhere? It don't.
No, and they even bring it up again.
The only purpose it really serves is splitting her up from the group.
Well, that and it also is brought up again though. That the dinosaurs are getting sick.
Yeah.
Especially the vegetarians. The Brachiosaurus. Oh, it's got a cold. They bring it up again like it's going to be something. Or it's going to lead somewhere.
Yeah.
And it never does. Not in the movie, anyway.
A tropical...
What?
You know how you said someone disliked children?
Mm-hmm. Grant.
Grant, yeah, the main guy. Huh?
I love kids, you know that.
He's then why don't you like me?
You always say you won't.
We got some sibling rivalry. Let's do
You
it.
don't like kids and you hate kids.
Jerry.
I do.
You're doing it right now!
Hey, this is my life.
Except he's letting us argue right now. Normally just tells us
usually I just tell you both to shut up. Shut up!
Pull some hair out.
I'm thinking about making a series out of the two of you arguing all the time. I'm about to pull those clips and just make a series out of it.
Me mocking him while he's probably right.
Every time I take off my hat, more hair comes out with my hat.
You know what? And that's what I try and lead the most conversations.
Beautiful, luxurious locks until
No,
your
he
kids were
didn't.
born.
I saw his freshman year pictures. No, he didn't.
Yes, I did. I had fine. My hair was fine.
So, you want me to continue reading?
Yeah, keep reading.
Okay. He's like, God.
I tried to help.
There's a few more strands.
Hey, you got your beard too. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's getting a little gray though. I'd watch out.
Yeah, that's because of you two.
Nuh-uh.
Just read. Come on.
A tropical monsoon storm hits the island, and Most InGen employees leave except for John, Game Warden Robert, and Chief Systems Engineer Ray Arnold. During the storm, Dennis shuts down park security except for the raptor fences, and as a result, the Tyrannosaurus breaks through the deactivated electric fence surrounding its pen, kills and eats abandoned goat, and devours Donald, attacking Tim and Lex hiding in the car, which gets submerged partway into a swamp of mud and wounding Ian.
She's just trying to find a place to stop.
Oh.
I got you. No, it's more like, again, this is my problem with the Dennis Nedry plotline. He's so smart. He automated the whole park. He's got everything like on a dime and perfect and everything, right? He goes to leave with his embryos, but then he shuts down parts of the park that he's going to be going through, knowing that there are dangerous dinosaurs that are going to get out while he's trying to make his getaway. It would make so much more sense if it was the storm.
I get where you're coming from with the storm idea, but I just can't get behind it. Now, give me a different reason why
it goes along
things
with
shut
everything
down.
else. They think that they're in control.
I
they
know,
have
but-
fail safes, sure, and those fail safes fail, and that would just be another one. The Dennis Nedry plotline even in the book doesn't make much sense because again, you're looking at.
Actually, it makes perfect sense. Somebody's going to want to capitalize on that research and those dinosaurs and that. So.
Well, they don't get into it in the movie so much, but I think in other movies they might. I don't know, because again, I've only seen the first 3 and I don't remember much. But the other bio company, because his is the one, and then there's the other one that Dodgson works for.
Yeah.
They are doing that research. It's just that Hammond has created embryos and they haven't.
So
it's saving them
because I know that
time.
there's different sites,
Yeah.
and shit like that.
Yeah. It's
So-
saving them time and money, which is why they're paying Nedry. That's the only reason. Otherwise, they'll get there, and they'll have their own.
You know what this movie made me want to play? Dino Crisis.
Yeah, I can see that.
If anybody knows,
What is it?
it's like
Scary
Resident,
dinosaur game.
It's
You're playing
Resident
it, all of a
Evil
sudden
with
you're like,
dinosaurs.
Yeah. I
Throw
own
your
it.
controller and
I got it on PlayStation.
Do you? Yeah, it was the shit. It was literally Resident Evil with dinosaurs.
it was.
Alright, the children and Alan only narrowly avoid being killed. Just after they flee the wreckage, Ellie and Robert arrive. At first, they believe the only survivor of the attack is Ian, but upon further investigation, they find 2 footprints. One is Alan's, and one belongs to one of the kids. Just then, the Tyrannosaurus returns, and Ian, Robert, and Ellie barely escape in their Jeep.
Let's go faster.
Meanwhile, Dennis crashes his car, and while trying to winch it, he is killed by a juvenile
Dilphosaurus.
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 Dilf.
Is that a dad I'd like to fuck saurus? A dad I'd like to fuck a saurus.
Except
Pretty
it's
sure
a
they're all
PH,
chicks.
not an F.
And they're
Sorry. I
A
didn't mean to
PH?
ruin you.
A dad I'd like to PH fuck a saurus.
You know how you go PH fat. Like,
A
you know.
Dad, I'd like to.
dad I'd like to fat. That's
What?
another one. Oh my god! You remember when that word was huge? People were saying all them, dude, that's fat.
It's fat.
It's fat. What do you mean fat? Like PH fat, dude.
Yeah, but they always had to point it out too. They'd be
Like
like,
pH
"That's
fat."
fat. Like pH fat,
Not like
fat.
you're fat, but I mean like, PH fat.
Mm-hmm. Or like when they would compliment a girl, like, "You're fat." Like pH fat. Like, are you kidding me?
Fat.
I'm automatically writing you off.
That was like big in like
I'm
what, the
good.
2010s, like early 2000s.
Yeah, I was gonna say early 2000s into the 10s, maybe.
PH fat.
Mhm.
Now strike that pose. Sorry. You guys know what I'm referencing?
No.
No. Karen? Dude is from Trolls. Whenever she goes into meet the king or whatever, and she's got all the trolls in her hair as her glitter hair. Lady Glitter Sparkles. No. She goes into the store and she's like, I think it makes you look fat.
I've never
He
seen
goes,
it.
What?
That's good.
And he turns around and he sees her. He's like, she goes, Poppy says, PH fat. I'll strike that pose. She goes, PH fat. Oh. No.
I like Trolls, but I don't remember that.
You
Oh.
don't? It's
I've only
whenever
seen
he's
it
going
once.
through his bibs. Whenever he's like looking at his bibs. No?
Just keep reading.
Dude, I've seen that movie so many times. It's not even funny.
Oh my god.
Not even funny. Alright. Meanwhile, Dennis crashes his car. We're talking about Dilfs, who spits out a tar-like venom at him before devouring the obese saboteur in his Jeep. Alan, Tim, and Lex spend the night in a tree while hiking to safety the next morning. They discover hatched eggs, which means the dinosaurs are breeding. Alan hypothesizes that the frog DNA is responsible. Some species of frog are known to spontaneously change sex in a single-sex environment.
Could you imagine like waking up and be like, "Oh my god, I'm a boy"?
Stop. You can't tap the mics, dummy.
Dummy. What?
So if you're like, don't do that.
What if you woke up tomorrow as a female?
Who?
Yeah, like
Me or Jackson?
Any of us. Like you just wake up tomorrow like, holy shit, I'm a boy.
Well, I'll wake up tomorrow female. I think I'll be okay.
Well,
You mean
she's talking about
The real question is,
the
what
frogs.
if I wake up tomorrow a lesbian? Because that's what I'll be.
You already are, technically. You're
No, a
just
lesbian
boy.
is a woman who likes other women.
Yeah, you're
I
just
would
a
just
boy
be a
though, so
lesbian.
you like women, right?
Yep.
And if you woke up tomorrow as a woman, then I guess you'd be a lesbian. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, wouldn't you be shocked? Like, they're talking about this spontaneously changing sexes. Like, I know that
I kind
we
of
have a
feel like
much
I'd be a
higher
little
brain
happier because I ain't got
function.
this thing hanging between my legs. It's less to take care of. You know
I
what I mean?
often do wonder how you guys deal with that. Like, that would annoy the shit out of me.
We
I
also
feel
wonder
like.
the same thing about your periods, but here we are.
Oh no, they suck.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
No, there's no denying that.
Yeah, but
I don't think
But you
anybody's
see,
like,
your
I
periods
love
go
it when I
away.
got my period. It's my favorite
Yeah,
time of the month.
periods go away at some point
Except
in your
for the
life.
fruit.
That's yeah.
But with penises, they don't go away.
Yeah, like I
They
feel
just
like
get useless.
I was gonna say I feel like it would get in my way. I don't know.
Jack, are you putting on earmuffs or?
No.
No. Set it up for shit.
You know, all right, I'm tired of this. I'm never doing a podcast with you guys again.
Ray tries to hack Dennis's computer to turn the power back on, but fails. So he does full system restart, which requires the circuit breakers to be manual reset. Was that Gizmo?
Did they
or
even
Raven?
try?
That was Raven. Definitely Raven.
Like get into the like put in passwords and stuff?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
He was
okay.
getting frustrated, remember?
I just remember
Yeah, because
it
the first
said-
time he did it, he come up on the screen.
Yeah, and it says you didn't say the magic word. Well, so then my first one would be please. You didn't say the magic word? Please. We're in.
That's what he says. He gets frustrated. He's like, please.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Seems a little crazy to have to reboot the whole thing, but I am not a tech person, so I'm okay.
I don't know. Watching that girl towards the end there lock the doors and bring the system back on. She's like, I know this system. I'm saying it looks like a grid of like
Yeah,
buildings.
that's not a thing.
I'm like, what the fuck? That doesn't look. Anybody could operate whatever
Yeah,
that
it's not
is.
a
Like,
thing.
looks like a video game.
Yeah.
It'd be lines of code.
Yeah, it would be lines of code.
Okay. If you open on the table of fire. Sorry, I'm giving him advice because I eat candy
If you
all
throw
the
it
time.
across the table, they won't even hear it.
He's like, no.
uh-uh.
He's like, fuck no, dude. He's like, you got your gummy lifesavers. You didn't offer me none of that shit.
Got some gummy lifesavers.
I didn't throw any to
Would
make
you
it
trade?
quiet either.
I think they're calling up a trade. Some lifesavers for your Reese cup.
I'm about out of lifesavers. This was a full bag before we got here.
10 for 1. That's a good deal.
How
10
many
for
is
1.
that? How many is that? Count them.
10 for, we need 10 for 1. If you throw in a few bonus,
I'm
that'd
gonna
be
pay
better.
a handful. I don't know how much
10 for 1.
That
10
ain't
for
10.
1. That is not 10. That is
Count
like
that shit.
Maybe 6.
Count that shit. I got you,
10,
dude.
man.
I got you.
I got some here.
He's like, like get here, like get 10 or whatever you
There's
need.
9 there.
There's 9 right there. You just add one more to that. Little...
10?
Yeah, we'll call it
3,
good.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's 9.
There's 5, 6. That is no, it's 10. There's 10.
Is it?
Exactly?
Yeah,
Dan?
that's 10. Exactly.
Oh
Yep.
shit! I didn't even. No.
Yep. See, 2, 4,
We're only giving
6,
back.
8, 10.
That's what I'm saying.
Jeremiah.
Oh.
Wow. Wow. He said like it's like a toss, dude. Would you
It's like
throw
a
it at
candy
him?
trade.
Like, fucking beam it at him. Like,
Alright, anyways, now that we're through that. Alright, you guys. Power mode. Anyways. When he does not return, Ellie and Robert follow and discover the raptors have escaped. The shutdown cut off power to the electric fences around their pit. Robert realizes that they are near and tells Ellie to go to the utility shed herself and turn the power back on while he tries to hunt them down. The raptors set a trap for Robert and he is tackled and killed by the big one. Ellie escapes from another after discovering Ray's severed arm in the maintenance shed. After managing to turn on the power and escape the raptor, she meets Alan and they go back to Ian and John in the emergency bunkers. Lex and Tim narrowly escape the big one and her fellow raptor in the kitchen, locking one in the freezer and knocking the big one out for several minutes. And Lex is finally able to restore the park's computer systems in order to call John to request a helicopter rescue of the survivors. Alan and Ellie hold off the big one, trying to open the door to the computer room until the power is restored and the electromagnetic locks begin working. With the door secured, the raptor breaks into the room through the window after Grant shoots at it through the glass, and the group climbs up into the ceiling crawl space and arrives at the visitor center skeleton display. Only after Lex is almost killed by the big one, leaping up after her, the raptors pursue, and after a scuffle with the big one on the top of the fossil exhibits, and the raptors block their escape route, help comes from an unlikely source when the
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I'm reading. Jeez. Suddenly appears and kills both raptors, saving Alan, Ellie, Lex, and Tim in the process. The four then climb into John and Ian's Jeep and leave. Alan says he will not endorse the park, a choice with which John concurs. As all fly away in the helicopter, the children fall asleep beside Alan, who contemplatively? Sure. Watches a flock of pelicans fly nearby, the surviving relatives of the dinosaurs they escaped.
All right. The end. Theme song.
Do 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 do. Should I do the recorder one?
What you got?
That's way worse. Like. I'll show that to you when we're done, Jackson. It's pretty funny. The recorder version. No,
it's worse.
It had me and your dad was crying last week.
It's unbearable.
Yeah, but it's the way that they present it. It's all about the presentation.
Okay.
When you see it, you're like, that's great.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anybody got any notes or anything you want to say about it?
I thought it was weird that the breakers were on the other side of the compound. Is that weird or normal for electricity? Or because he said, she said, where are the breakers? And he said, in a place on the other side of the compound. So the breakers for that building
is on the other side of the compound.
Or on the other side of the compound.
That is weird. You think they'd be like right out back of the building?
Plot device.
Yeah,
of course it is, but it's a stupid one.
Definitely plot device.
Oh, we can't have them close.
Yeah.
That'd be like
how are they going to run there?
That'd be like the breakers to my house being in your basement.
I don't know about that. That seems a little ridiculous, but
that's across the compound.
From my house to your house?
Yeah, that
it's only like what, 3 miles?
That island is like, yeah, it really is. Like that island is huge. So across the compound's got to mean at least, hell, I don't know, at least a mile or two away.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
At
Did they drive there?
I don't think they showed that. No, because what's her face and him left, and he had that gun because they were walking.
Yeah.
But
3 miles seems like a distance. I would say like half a mile.
I wonder. Well, yeah, no. It was. He said across the compound.
I know, but I'm saying like the compound's probably like half a mile long. I can't imagine it's 3 miles. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. It just seems insane to me that they're not in the same building or at least like adjacent.
Yeah, like out back.
Yeah.
What?
One thing that doesn't make sense is the way the kid flew.
That's what electricity does.
No, that would happen.
That would happen.
It would.
Yeah, the electroshock.
Because the electricity is gonna propel you. Like the whole point of electricity is to find a circuit, right? So him being on that fence interrupts that circuit.
Bam.
So yeah, it's gonna go through him to complete that circuit, but then once it's done, get the fuck out of here. It's gonna shoot him clear across the. Yeah.
In some cases, some electricity, you grab it and you can't let go because of
Mm-hmm. In most cases,
that's how you die. Actually,
in most cases,
lower voltages, that's how you die.
What saved him was that he wasn't grounded. He wasn't on the ground.
Because that would have killed him.
Mm-hmm. If he's on that fence, it makes more sense that it would shoot him, rather than if he was on the ground and he tried to touch it, it would have killed him. It would have just continued to circuit through him.
Yep.
Well, the actual island. Oh, go ahead.
Gizmo had that shot collar and he.
Did Gizmo ever have a shot collar?
No.
Pretty sure he did. Oh, Crixus like jumped or whatever.
There's not enough shock.
That's like a little.
Yeah, it's just a real quick.
Nothing.
It's not gonna.
It's like those hand buzzers.
Yeah.
Oh, like them hand things.
Although I did have a shot collar that it wasn't a shot collar, it was like one of the perimeter fences on my old dog, and as soon as he went out to test it, and he hit that line, and he did a backflip. I've never seen a dog do a backflip before until that day. That dog did a fucking backflip. I was like, holy shit!
He scared the balls off of him.
Now this here says the actual island itself is 22 square miles. It's 8 miles long and 3 miles wide at its widest point.
What? That doesn't. I can't.
The compound. That's what it says. I'm just reading.
Well, if you think about it, like if that's all the bigger it is, it took him so long to get back to the compound. You know what I mean? Like a 3 mile walk is like what, fucking 10, 15 minutes walk?
That's like.
No,
I guess
a mile might be.
Yeah, but either way, it shouldn't take him almost 2 days an entire day to walk back to this compound from where they are.
No, I don't think so either. It just seems ridiculous to me that they're not close. Like that it's not.
Well, he's saying that the like across the from one end to the other is 3 miles.
That's the real island, and I don't. When they have the compound, I am assuming that they're talking about like the visitor center, all of those like buildings that they've set up.
Yeah.
The entire
inside
park,
the fence perimeter.
Correct, because the entire park is going to take up the whole island.
Right. Yeah.
Right, and you're going to need most of that space for the paddocks. So like when you have the paddocks set up and wherever they are, they're going to take up the most space. Because like look at the T-Rex paddock. I mean, that thing was huge, and it was just for one T-Rex. So if you've got those set up all over the island, the compound, like where their like I don't know home base is not going to be the whole island.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Most of the island is going to be paddocks. So, I'm just saying that it makes no sense that, like, why would you have your breakers in your neighbor's house? Right. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't make any sense. That building should have been out back of that main.
Yeah,
building.
I could see out back because you want sort of like your.
You would want your power supply and everything for all of your system and everything to be within arm's reach.
Well, and not to mention that that whole visitor center is set up to be like a visitor center where everybody's going to come and they're going to see it. So you want it to be pretty and shiny and cool, but like the breakers still have to be close by. Is all I'm saying. Like maybe you don't want them right there in the middle of the fucking visitor center, but you want them close.
What? Cool. Yeah, it's on your finger. That's cool. Yeah.
You gonna read into that?
Does anybody have anything else? Anything else? No.
I
cool.
Let's run out this bitch.
Flip me off.
Dude, I don't know when the last time I saw this movie is, honestly. Like, the last
It's
time
been
I
a
watched
long
it,
time.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me, too.
There was literally times I was watching this and I don't remember this, like, at all.
I remember everything from the movie, but it's been so long since I'd seen it. It definitely feels a lot different watching it now as, like, a much older adult. I probably haven't seen this movie since I was a teenager, I would think. It's probably been that long.
I'm still very impressed with it. Surely from the fact that there's, like, so much, like, they used animatronics.
Yeah, the animatronics
They used some
awesome.
CG. But
the T-Rex animatronic is the most impressive.
Oh, yeah. And they married them perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell when it's CG or when it's
the
animatronic or when it's a dude in a suit.
Unless you're really, really looking for it.
I didn't catch it at all.
Yeah, well, with the graininess and everything, because this is an older movie shot on film, it's harder to catch, you know, and it's harder to see, especially with the lighting and the darkness and everything. Like the difference between the animatronic and the CG is almost seamless. Like the part where he comes out and he's like stepping through that fence line and everything, you can't tell that he's CG no more than you can tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't see much of a transition. But that fucking T-Rex head is impressive.
But it's not just that. It's like, you know, all of the puppets and all of that production that went into that. The dinosaurs alone.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the sounds.
Well, then you
Because we don't know what
you
dinosaurs
get into
sounded
it
like.
with the Velociraptors. The raptors are super impressive because of their eyes, their face,
Oh, yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
the way they move,
Yeah.
and because those are close. You're close up on them.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
all of it. Like, you know, when you saw their feet with like the big claw,
Yeah.
it's almost like Morse code. Like they're
Like-
walking along
Yeah.
and they're talking to each other using
Yeah,
it. You know,
tapping.
it's so cool. But
Uh,
I mean, the sounds too also got me. The
Yeah.
sounds were like, we don't know what dinosaurs sounded like, and they had to come up with all of that stuff from scratch. Like,
yeah.
who sat there and heard like, you know, turtles banging and was like, yeah, that sounds like a raptor.
It's funny.
You know what I mean?
It's funny because they're like talking about at the beginning of the movie where they thought the Velociraptor was in kin with a bird.
Yeah.
But then if you watch the movie later on when the raptors come in and they start squawking kind of like a bird in a way, like that's how they communicate.
Mm-hmm.
They're squawking at each other. It's fucking wild. I'm like, I was like, I could see them probably.
When it's funny
maybe
because
doing that.
when Jurassic Park, when he wrote the book, all of that stuff was in its infancy. The theory that birds are descended from dinosaurs, because it was before that. I mean, dinosaur literally means terrible lizard. Before that, it was always there reptiles.
They have found evidence though that of feathers.
they really are. They
Yeah.
really are. The birds
Feathers
descended
on-
from dinosaurs, and
because
that
there
has
were
been
there were
proven.
raptors and things like that with feathers.
I just find it interesting that that stuff was in its infancy. That kind of like theory was in
Yeah.
its infancy, and he decided to take that theory and use it in his book, not knowing for sure if it was going to be real or not. And turns out they were right. I mean,
Right.
it's just interesting.
All right, let's rate this bitch. Madison, what do you think of Jurassic Park from 1993?
I've always liked the first Jurassic Park. I just remember hating the other ones, okay? I cannot tell you why.
That's justifiable.
Anyways, ever since I was a kid, I've never been a big fan of Jurassic Park movies, but I always liked the first one. The part I remember the most from whenever I was a kid was whenever they're, like, in the car and, like, they see the water tapping, like, in the T-Rex ones and everything. That was always the part that
I think everybody remembers that. Yeah.
That scene is iconic, though. That scene stands out in pop culture till today, even.
Seriously?
So, yeah.
No, they still parody that and stuff too. I mean,
Mhm.
movies
Yeah.
have parodied it for. I wish this came out.
There was the movie Mistake when they were in the car.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
raining, and then they're looking out the window, and you clearly see the drops. And then the next time you see it, it's fucking sunshiny. But when they go back again,
It's raining again.
it's raining.
Well, there was rain droplets on the window, and then there wasn't, and then there was. I don't remember if there was. They did it when the rain was going on.
But, I really like this movie. I like the music from it. It is good, no matter how overplayed
Also iconic.
it is. Yes. And it's kind of like the Harry Potter theme music. Like, you hear it
No,
so...
not like that.
Nope. Yep, it is just like that.
No.
No,
I'd say it's
it
more
is
like the
just
Back to the
like
Future
that.
music.
Nope, I don't remember.
Yeah,
I
or
don't
something
know
like
any
that,
of
you
the
know.
back. Nope, I don't know any of the Back to the Future music. I remember.
Okay,
Nope,
how about the
stop
Terminator-
talking,
Terminator
stop
music?
talking. Thank you.
This is her review, sir.
I remember whenever I was a kid, Harry Potter, you'd always hear the theme song, and then you're like, okay, I know that really well. And then you'd always hear the kids in school singing the song too. And you're like, okay, that's cool, but stop singing it because you're getting on my nerves. I'm going to end up throat punching you.
Okay.
Dude, you don't understand.
Are we in your review, or are we talking?
I am feeding into my review.
I think
Is that
you're-
okay with you?
I think
Is
you're-
that okay with you? Is
I think you're
that
projecting.
okay with you?
I think she's projecting.
You're talking like...
We need to go talk to Mr. Whitman.
Good luck with that. He might read into it. Anyways, I'm sure he'd like to have a conversation with you.
No, he wouldn't. He doesn't remember me from school.
Oh, he was your teacher?
Anyways, I like this movie. It's better than the other ones from what I can remember. Honestly, I don't remember much from the other ones, so I can't even say that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give it I'll give it a 8, I guess.
Okay.
I was gonna go 7.5, but it is a really good movie. So.
All right, Jackson, man, why don't you tell us what you think of Jurassic Park? You gotta rate it from 1 out of 10, man. 10 being the highest.
I thought it was a good movie. I thought
Talk louder, man. You gotta talk to the mic.
I
We gotta
thought
be able
the
to hear you.
animatronics were cool with the way they walked and how the mouths open.
The mouth's open.
You got this, Queen.
Don't pay attention to her. Come on.
Like how the car was in the tree.
Yeah.
The car in the tree.
Yeah, the car in the tree.
Car in the tree.
The kid got his ass beat.
He did.
I said poor Tim.
That kid did get his ass beat. So what was your
And he had
favorite
such
part
a
of the
great,
movie?
like, disposition.
You know what's funny is that kid was your age whenever he filmed this movie. He was 9 years old.
Like the funniest or the
Just your favorite part in general.
whenever the car fell off the cliff by the T-Rex.
Oh, okay. That was a pretty good part. Yeah.
I would give it a 10.
You're gonna. Oh, that's a perfect movie. You know that, right?
Broly.
Yeah. No. Because Broly's not even perfect. But like you're talking about, like nothing. There is nothing they can do to that movie to make it any better. Like nothing.
I'll give actually a 9.5.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
It's near perfect. Near perfect. It's a near perfect movie for Jackson. So you're telling me this is probably one of your favorite movies of all time? It would have to be if it's a 9.5.
I haven't seen any of the other movies.
You don't need to.
Probably the best one anyway.
It is the best one. It really is the best one. All right. Well, for me, there's a lot of things that I like about this movie. I loved it since I was a kid. Everybody loved it as a kid. It had fucking dinosaurs in it, you know, and they looked real.
For the first time in our lives, we were seeing dinosaurs come to life.
Exactly. Yeah. And the movie's fun. I mean, the music's iconic. The characters are all mostly likable. There's a lot to unpack in the movie too. There's a lot going on, so you're never bored watching it either. I like that about it. That and the other movies. After you watch this one and you watch the other ones, like those movies, they're not all terrible. I'm not saying that they're terrible movies, but they definitely heighten this movie and how great it is because you're like, wow, they can't even top the first movie because that's just how good it is. It's how it sets a precedent. You know what I mean? And this is definitely one of the movies that put Steven Spielberg's name on the map along with Jaws and E.T. Spielberg. But I hate that movie too.
I do too.
You know why I hate it? Because of Drew Barrymore. Even as a child, she was a dick. No, I really don't like that movie though.
No, not either. I just thought it was boring.
It is very boring. Very boring.
Everybody's like, "Oh, it's a great kids movie," and as a kid, I'm like,
"It's boring."
I'm gonna go watch Bob Ross. This is lame.
Yeah, it was boring as shit as a kid. I never liked E.T. growing up.
Me neither.
This movie
Dude,
sucks.
you guys too?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was one movie you guys don't have in mind. I hated that movie, okay?
It was kind of frightening, to be honest.
I don't care about frightening.
It was frightening whenever the government people come in.
Dude, it was just enough.
Yeah, I guess it's boring as fuck. Like, I was never entertained by it. I've seen it. I got an idea. I don't like it.
I got an idea. Do a face-off between E.T. and Mac and Me. Watch both movies.
I would rather watch Mac and Me.
Because at least it's got a laughable cheesy
That's what
factor.
I'm saying. At least you're sitting there watching
And
it. Like,
Paul
at least
Rudd's
you're entertained.
Especially the McDonald's dance scene.
Yeah, at least you're entertained by Mac and Me. I guess.
Paul
is what
Rudd's
I-
in it too.
It was enough for me to know that E.T. was the one flying over the moon in the beginning of all those movies.
Yeah, Amblin.
Amblin Entertainment.
Amblin Entertainment.
Yeah.
That's the logo.
That's all
yeah.
I needed to know.
So anyway, the music's iconic. Everything about it's good. I love Jeff Goldblum. There's just a lot of good things about this movie. But it's still, it's dated, of course. Does it still hold up after all these years? Yeah, of course it does. But I think for me, even watching it, you guys brought up good points about it. Just there's some things that could have trimmed to make it a little bit shorter. I get that the length maybe draws you in a little more because you get more invested in the movie that way. But I still think it's an 8 movie. It's an 8. I mean, it's a good movie. It's a good movie all day, by all means. This is a movie you can't hate. Nobody can hate this movie.
Oh, no.
It's like Back to the Future. You can't hate Back to the Future. You just love these movies. They're iconic for a good reason. Because they're great fucking movies. So,
Back to the Future.
Yeah, Back to the Future. This is why I was like, why are we even reviewing this movie? Like, everybody knows it's a good movie.
I mean,
if you don't like Jurassic Park, you're just a fucking asshole. Like,
I drew it out of the box. That's why.
That's it.
There's nothing wrong with doing a movie that everybody's going to like either,
Right,
though. I mean, this has been a very good conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, you can draw it.
Yeah.
Got to draw from the box.
Oh. Well, maybe.
Karen, what do you...
Like, hold
Stop.
hands.
Yeah, you guys want to do it together?
Oh, you wanted to draw it in the box?
No, I just said I've never got to draw from the box.
We've never let you draw from the box? Really?
No.
Just so you're aware, you're about to become a permanent part of the podcast in July after Madison leaves. So stop being a crybaby.
I'm not crying. I'm just saying. I quit.
He's like, you ain't even hired yet. This is like a probationary period.
Yeah, but he hasn't used his 6 days.
That's true. You're actually building vacation at this point. Like all the days that you're coming in, you're like, you know what? I'm building vacation days.
Okay, I'm up to 25 days now.
If I add all this up, how much will my paycheck be?
Yeah, Eric. You're negative in your fucking days. You're like eating away at your points, man.
I'm gonna try to not repeat what everybody else said. That you brought up great things, the music and everything being iconic, the characters, all of them are likable. I agree. I like that they don't go into a lot of background with the characters. They just kind of give you enough and then let you draw your own conclusions.
Yeah, there's certain little subtle things, like with Laura Dern.
Yeah.
They don't even say much about her, really.
They don't say anything really about any of them.
But like Sam Neill's character, you're like, okay, you've got the idea that he doesn't really like children.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can tell that, like...
But they build their personalities through the movie.
Exactly.
With action and with quirks, and they don't have to rely on...
And I think they do that really well with Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So many movies rely on those tropes or whatever to like build their characters for them.
Yeah.
Where in this movie, it doesn't. It doesn't even give you really much background. They just get to build their characters as you get to know them. And I like that. One of the other things that I really enjoy is a lot of stuff that you see on a... I don't know what the term would be necessarily, but you see it as like Hammond, right? Hammond comes off, especially as we were kids and everything, like he's such a like grandfatherly, nice guy, blah, blah, blah. But as an adult, I'm watching this and I'm seeing little nuances that kind of point in the direction that he's a showman.
You see subtle things.
He's selling the park to them.
It's like no expense was. Yeah.
He keeps saying no expense was spared, yet you have things that show that expenses were spared, just not on the surface level.
Yeah.
And he keeps trying to make this grandiose thing about himself too. Like when they go in and they look at the dinosaurs hatching, and he says, "I insist on being here when they hatch, so that I can imprint on them." Well, that sounds great. Like in that 1 or 2 seconds that they're in there, and at first you're like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." But anybody who's ever dealt with animals, or even kids for that matter, you can't hold a baby once and they remember you forever. That's not how that works. Mm-hmm. You imprint on an animal or a child by being there consistently.
Through time, yeah. Yep.
You can't hold a baby, dinosaur and then see him in 6 months and like, "Don't you remember me, Rexy? We were friends."
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
Like you have to raise it for a couple months.
Correct. So Hammond is a showman. He's a magician. He's just somebody trying to sell them his park.
Mm-hmm. He's trying to sell a product. He's a salesman. Exactly.
But he's also a showman. Remember, he's talking about the flea circus. And that to me is where I know that he's starting to put together that this isn't going to work. Yeah. He's talking about that flea circus, and you can see that hurt and sadness in his eyes when he said, "I just wanted to have something real, not an illusion."
An illusion, yeah.
So, you know, all those little things that you pick up on watching it again, you see these things happening just below the surface that point to danger that I never noticed before. So that gives me a whole new level of appreciation for the movie. I didn't like the Nedry thing. The more and more I watched it and paid attention to it, I still feel like the storm would have been a better catalyst. Just because it's that nature.
I don't know why, but I did like that about the movie.
Yeah, and you can.
I like the whole taking the embryos and all that stuff. I thought that was really cool.
I mean, it is kind of cool, but it leads nowhere. I mean, those embryos go into that mud. They never go anywhere. He dies.
Yeah.
It's another dead plot line that could have been better served by giving another example of why nature wins. You can have as many fail-safes as you want. You could have a generator, right? People have whole house generators that fail just because of a bad storm, right? So I'm just saying that it would have just been another example of nature winning.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end it. I think that's about all I got. So I'm with you guys. I think it's an 8. That stuff isn't big enough for me to say it's not a bad movie. It's not. It's a very good movie. There's a lot of things that are happening under that level, or things that I never noticed before that make up for those, you know, dead plot lines. The Triceratops being sick and never going back to it. Things like that. I care about, or else it'd be higher. But it's not enough for me to say this movie's a write-off. It's terrible, or you know.
Right. All right, man. What about you, Jeremiah? What do you think?
I'd go probably an 8 as well. My two biggest beefs were the dead plot lines. You know, the Nedry thing could have went away. You could have shaved that time off, and the Triceratops. Huh?
He said I'm the highest. I said we're just a little more picky than he is.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were really my only two big concerns. I mean, I grew up watching it. I always loved the movie. You know, like I said, you shave that out, you still got a cohesive plot. And, you know, the whole storm thing works better in my eyes, too.
Right.
But yeah, other than that, I don't really have any big complaints or anything.
No, there really aren't a lot of complaints about this movie. That's probably
really
why
like the
it
sound.
Works so well, huh?
The sound that they gave for the dinosaurs, they just seem so perfect.
Yeah, they're good. They
especially
sound
the
good,
T-Rex roar and those raptors, and like it's perfect.
Yeah, they sound
perfection
great,
for people that have never. I mean, we've never heard dinosaurs. I'm sure that's not what they sounded like, but it's cool to think so.
Probably not, honestly.
No,
Like,
I think they
but imagine that, like, at this point, that's probably how everybody thinks that they sound.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? Like, nobody would
Because
ever...
you know,
Because Jurassic Park.
If we do get a T-Rex, you know, in real life someday, and it goes, "Nyah,"
Nyah.
and it roars like that,
or it doesn't make any noise at all, and it's just like slithers or something. I don't know.
or like
I'm a slithery snake.
What if they can like talk?
That's an 8.3.
8.3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I think.
You're gonna show everybody.
Show everybody what?
Oh, you're doing Rotten Tomatoes, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Don't let her cheat.
I think the funniest part.
No, these are just the comments.
Oh.
I actually have the score further back.
Oh. All right. Well, we're doing Rotten Tomatoes then.
That's the next, isn't it?
Yeah. So, all right. So, out of 100, what do you think this
97.
critic score is? 97. Wow.
Critics, I'm gonna go
97 is a little steep.
86.
Oh, what do we do?
I'm sticking to 97.
What do we do?
1 to
1
100.
to 100. What do you think the critics gave this movie?
What does that mean?
Like a percentage.
Like, you know, an A is like 90 to 100
Yeah, like in grade.
in
Yeah,
grades.
grade it.
So
Grade
like,
it. Based on
grade it. What do you
percentage.
think? What do you think that they did?
So Madison thinks that it's a 97%.
86.
She thinks it's an 86. I think it's a 90. I'm going 92.
So that's good.
You didn't,
didn't
let
give
him
him-
guess. It's definitely not 92. Guess, man. Just say a number because we don't know
He said
that.
a fucking number already.
No.
No.
He's indecisive.
94.
Okay. What is it?
91.
Is it 91?
91.
I knew it was like around 90. It's like it's got to be. I was gonna say 89 at first, but
I'm going for
I was
96
gonna
for
say
the
90.
the audience.
for
I was gonna say
audience,
90.
you're going 90 for audience.
What?
What are you saying for? Well, now it's an audience score. What do you think the audience?
So
rated
critics are people that get paid to watch movies and make up their minds about it. Now it's like normal people like us.
is? that rated?
89. Oh, 1.0.
That is a good guess. I think 89 is close. I'm gonna go. I don't know. It could be higher though. I'm gonna go higher than the critics. I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna say 95.
Dollared me, son of a bitch.
What did you say? 94?
96.
96? What is it?
91.
I didn't even vote. I was gonna say
What'd you say?
90.
Said 89.
I was gonna
She
say
got
90.
Because I said 85.
I was gonna say 90.
Oh, you were gonna say 90. Jackson got
I
it.
didn't vote.
Because you gotta speak up, homie.
You let him not
90.
vote twice.
That's
I
his
thought-
fault. I thought he voted too.
I did too, honestly.
See, it ain't just me.
You gotta speak up, dude. He said 90 though. He got it.
91, both critics and audience.
That's crazy.
91.
Okay.
So it's a 91 for both of them?
Yep.
That's nuts.
Can
Yeah.
I say the funniest part?
I was gonna say 91 too.
Funniest part? What
Because I was
about
like,
it?
well, what if I
The
just?
funniest.
Of the movie?
Yes.
What? Just talk, man.
I think the funniest part was whenever the restroom thing got broke down. Then
And the guy's sitting around the
T-Rex-
shitter?
Yeah, and then the T-Rex ate him.
Yeah.
And he-
That's
and we-
karma for leaving them kids. in
So if
car
the
like
T-Rex
that.
could talk, what do you think it would have said? Man, it tastes like shit.
Yeah.
No.
No.
And here we are with the dad jokes.
Okay. I got a 5-star. I like dinosaurs.
I like dinosaurs.
I like turtles.
I like turtles.
I like dinosaurs.
like
No
trains.
comment.
Like turtles.
I like trains.
A little weird. Like
I like to give it
turtles.
5 stars. I like dinosaurs.
I like dinosaurs.
I like the Wizard of Oz.
I like Santa.
I want to be Mrs. Claus.
Oh, that was Anus T, by the way.
Anus
Anus
tea.
T. Okay.
That's a nice name.
Anus T.
Anus T.
Oh, geez.
Bob D, 2.5. If somebody could edit out the children and re-release it, this movie would be fantastic.
Oh my god.
It's a theme park. You the
I
giant douche.
I think it's a joke about how
Grant.
Grant didn't like kids.
Put that cookie down!
I don't know. Nougat J,
Nougat.
1.5. It was really unrealistic, and the dinos shouldn't be alive. Bad movie for touchy kids.
They shouldn't be alive. Hence, they were extinct.
What the fuck?
I got a 0.5 star by Benjamin H. This film is a bit unrealistic since the existence of dinosaurs has not been proven. There may be some bones,
in the
but these are easy enough to fake.
I think you're
So
living
all
under a
the
rock.
skeletons and bones that have been dug up and exuded.
They're easy enough to fake.
You can fake them.
And what has our society become? Go ahead.
Jack L. A 0.5 star.
Another dinosaur hater.
I wish the dinosaurs talked.
Nope.
It would help.
dinosaur loved
The
it.
dinosaurs didn't talk back then.
What was the name of that
Wouldn't
movie?
talk at all. They're animals.
Yeah, what was the name of that movie where they could talk? It was a
The only
cartoon.
mammals that can talk
Dinosaur
are-
Train.
Or something.
No. Huh?
Dinosaur Train. It was a kids show.
No, it wasn't a show. It was a movie.
Oh.
And like they were full-grown dinosaurs, and it was a movie. I remember.
Was it a
I feel
cartoon
like I know
movie?
what
Or
Yeah,
you're
it was a
talking
cartoon
about.
movie.
Well, I mean, the only thing I can think of is Land Before
I
Time.
know it's not Land Before Time because they're in like modern day.
The only.
Well, isn't
Nope,
that
don't know what you're talking about.
Prehistoria or whatever?
The
it
Prehistory
was?
is a live-action movie where the dinosaurs are small.
Yeah, that had
The
the dude.
animals
That
I
had,
never seen it. I was just
that had
going
the dude from.
My Girl and My Girl 2 and yeah, it's Austin O'Brien.
Yeah.
Last Action.
Last Action.
Yeah.
It would help the plot make sense and it was no terror of Tiny Town.
Wait,
What?
what did
What?
you say?
Yeah. He says, I wish the dinosaurs talked. It would help the plot make sense, and it was no terror in
It
Tiny
would not
Town.
make sense.
There was no terror in Tiny Town.
That must be a movie
only
reference or
animals
something.
that
It
can
must be, but
talk
I've never
is
heard of that.
us.
Right.
Right.
What?
Right, bro.
I mean, it just that is the most asinine comment I've ever heard.
I don't make this up.
I know.
He's like, I'm just reading the fucking
I'm just
shit.
reading the fucking news.
Some
Two
other
stars.
idiot wrote it.
2 stars. Braxton M. Okay, I just didn't love it as much as all the critics. It's decent, but not at its best, and suffers from a sophomore slump. Not a horrible film, though.
Sophomore slump being the first movie, though.
I was gonna say this is the first one, not the second one.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they're rating the wrong movie.
A lot of people do that, honestly.
And the last one by Harrison M. is a 5-star. And the only thing more entertaining than this movie is reading its 1-star reviews.
That's good.
And that is it.
Wow.
So we can read like the 600 ones that I put down.
I think you should read the important ones because we're already 2 hours and 15 minutes
I
in.
don't read the whole thing. I make my own.
Eesh.
Holy fucking balls. That's a lot.
That is how I've always done it. That's a lot. That's 4.
It is? Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whew.
Our podcast is now officially longer than the movie.
Well, it wasn't all movie, to be fair.
Yeah, we had like 25 minutes of jubals.
All right. Universal Pictures paid Michael Crichton $2 million for the rights to his novel before it was even published. He estimated
$2 million?
I thought. I could be wrong.
I always thought it was Crichton.
I think
Maybe.
it is Crichton, isn't it?
I don't know. I've never heard his name said, so I'm going.
Neither
by
have
the
I.
way
I
it's
thought it was
spelled.
Crichton, though.
Okay, we'll go with Crichton. He estimated that the screenplay has about 10 to 20% of the novel's content. Interest in paleontology waned during the atomic age and space race, but according to Dr. Nate Smith at the Natural History Museum Dinosaur Institute, Jurassic Park coming out generated a bunch of interest amongst young people that wanted to become paleontologists and get into the field. As a result, numerous new dinosaur species have been discovered since then at roughly the rate of 50 new discoveries per year, or about 1 per week.
Sweet.
Wow, really?
Yep.
Wow.
According to the behind-the-scenes book, The Making of Jurassic Park, an adventure 65 million years in the making, the infamous roar of the Tyrannosaurus was a composite mix of a dog, penguin, tiger snarl, alligator's gurgle, and a baby elephant squeal. The very deep alligator vocals acted as the low-frequency element in the final roar. However, as Gary Rydstrom stresses, the key part of the sound is the high-frequency element, the baby elephant. Rydstrom describes how, during the recording session, the baby elephant only did the iconic cute high-pitched scream that forms the basis of every T-Rex word in the film once. We kept trying to get it to do again, and the handlers were saying, "We've never heard it do that before. That is a weird sound." The introduction of the T-Rex is a scene expressly planned around sound design. I think maybe other directors would have had a shock moment where you see the T-Rex show up out of the blue. Spielberg was great in the T-Rex scene by getting several minutes of tension because you knew what was coming, and you knew it was because you heard it before you saw it. And it's nice when movies think about sound that way. Which I put that in here because I thought that sound really was a big part of this movie. I thought it really helped play it.
Spider. There it goes.
You don't like spiders?
Eat it.
It's right there.
Assert your dominance. Assert your dominance. Just pick it up and eat it.
Spider Madison.
You like it?
Look at that. Ooh.
What kind of spider do you think it is? Jumping?
I don't know.
Jumping
Let's find out.
spider?
Watch it
Is
jump.
that a jumping spider?
Put it down.
Okay.
There he goes. He's running away. Oh, he's coming over here. It's okay. I'll protect you, buddy.
Yep.
It ran away. It's on the other side now. Madison.
Over here.
She's like, fuck.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Sit down. You sit down too.
Sit.
Don't worry. I won't let him come near you. Go ahead and keep reading.
The guest's encounter with the sick Triceratops ends without any clear explanation as to why the animal is sick. Michael Crichton's original novel and screenplay, however, include an explanation. The Stegosaurus Triceratops lacked suitable teeth for grinding food, and so, like birds, would swallow rocks and use them as gizzard stones. In the digestive tract, these rocks would grind the food to aid in digestion. After 6 weeks, the rocks would become too smooth to be useful, and the animal would regurgitate them. When finding and eating new rocks to use, the animal would also swallow some of the West Indian lilac berries. The fact that the berries and stones are regurgitated explains why Ellie never finds traces of them in the animal's excrement. All of the cast were given a raptor model signed by Steven Spielberg as a gift. It looked very frightening, and Ariana Richards has it in her house to shock anyone coming in, like a guard at the gate. Jeff Goldblum's model has a prime spot in his house and is a cherished object. Laura Dern put her raptor model in her son's room near his crib. When he was older and saw it, he screamed like he'd never screamed before, and she had to put it into storage, but hopes that one day the two will be friends. I'm trying to...
I mean, how Laura Dern's like in her 60s or 70s, like in her 60s now, so you would think her kid would be grown and not afraid of dinosaurs anymore.
Who knows when the trivia was put in there, though.
Oh, right.
During the scenes with the T-Rex, Spielberg would roar like one through the microphone. The cast cracked up whenever he did that, and Sam Neill stated that it was more funny than anything, and the acting part was trying not to laugh. It was not easy. I imagine that wouldn't be easy, like, if you just hear your fucking director in the background going, Rawr! Like...
Or, like, it's kind of like, what's his face on whenever he was directing Starship Troopers. And he was running around pretending to be the bug.
That's right. I forgot about that. The real velociraptors are actually barely 1.6 feet tall, much smaller than the ones depicted in the movie. Shortly after the movie release, a dinosaur was discovered in Utah that was almost identical to the velociraptor in the movie. Although the idea was finally scrapped, one of the proposed names for the new species was Utah Raptor Spielbergi.
How tall are raptors?
1.6 feet tall.
That's it?
That's it.
Yeah.
Foot and a half.
That's not big at all. How ferocious do you think they could be at only...
It's like a Chucky.
Yeah.
But
Like,
not
kick
so
that,
hard.
punt that motherfucker.
It's because they're so smart.
All right.
That's what's scary about them.
Yeah, they are fast, I guess. And if they attack you in packs.
Yeah, exactly. When the Utah Raptor was discovered right before the movie's release, Stan Winston joked, "We made it, then they discovered it." That still boggles my mind.
So they found a larger raptor then.
Yeah, well, like right before the movie was released. It's essentially what you see on screen.
Right.
But they didn't know that was a real thing before that. There's a whole subplot in the novel regarding Dennis Nedry and his reason for betraying the park. In the book, Nedry is not Hammond's employee, but subcontracted by him to create the park's security system. When Hammond cheats on Nedry's pay, Nedry tries to sue, but Hammond instead creates a smear campaign, making Nedry lose customers. In the end, he is forced to work for Hammond for a fraction of his normal pay. The company Nedry was selling the embryos was close to trying to clone dinosaurs, but were way behind in InGen. So Nedry's move was sort of payback. In the end, the filmmakers decided not to include that plot since it would create sympathy for Nedry and his rather gruesome death. However, there are elements included in the script that hint at this, including Nedry's comments to Dodgson about Hammond's mistake of being cheap and his argument with Hammond over money. It makes Hammond's continued statement that he spared no expense ironic, or it may indicate that he spent money on flashier things park visitors would have noticed, but skimped on more mundane but necessary equipment for actually running the park. Ian Malcolm dresses entirely in black in the movie and The Lost World Jurassic Park. In the book, he tells Ellie that he only ever dresses in black and gray so that he never has to waste time thinking about what to wear. Seth Brundle gives the same reason for
that's the same thing that he said in The Fly.
For his monotonous fashion in The Fly, an idea that Brundle got from Albert Einstein. Upon learning that he had been cast as Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum, who had read the novel to prepare, went out and bought the clothes the character would wear. He was described in the book as wearing all black, coming from Dallas, hence the cowboy boots, and like a typical chaos theorist, behaving like a rock star. Hence the leather jacket, sunglasses, and jewelry.
That's a great pop figure.
Sir Sean Connery was offered the role of John Hammond based on his performance as Professor Henry Jones in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
I couldn't buy it unless they went with the angle that
we
he was
spared no expense.
Yeah, well, unless they went with the angle from the book where he was a dick.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know what I mean? Like that, I could see, but
yeah, he turned it down. Was anybody interested in how much the park would cost to actually run?
Yeah,
$17 million a year.
This number looks completely made up to me, so I'm just going to read it. 23,432,400,000. So that's like 23,432,400,000 to build.
That's
Just
not
to build.
I say that's not to employ and all the research and
1.5 billion is the cost for the park itself. 10 billion to purchase an island off the coast of Costa Rica with 60 square miles of land. 22 square miles for Isla Nublar and 44 square miles for Isla Sorna. 8 million for research and legal team. 9 million harvesting dinosaur DNA. 8.5 million overhead to clone dinosaurs from the DNA. 11 billion a year employee payroll and operations budget. 200 million a year dinosaur food budget. In total, the estimated yearly operating expenses for Jurassic Park add up to approximately $11.9 billion per year.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Can you imagine how much the tickets are going to cost?
Yeah, no shit. You're talking about $10,000, $20,000 tickets to get into the island.
For one person?
Yeah. But then again, there's a lot of people in the world that'd be willing to pay that.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, they'd have a coupon day, remember?
Coupon
Maybe
day.
like a billionaire.
This week only. Tickets on sale for $10,000 each. Cameron Thor has said he happily replies his role of Lewis Dodgson at any time because it's the character for which he's most recognized. The character was included in the sequel novel, but not in the film adaptation. The character of Dodgson is returning in Jurassic World Dominion, but without Thor, who is currently serving a 6-year prison sentence following his 2016 conviction of sexual misconduct with a 13-year-old girl.
Who?
The guy who played Dodgson. The guy who gave him the shave can and said, "Here, go get me some embryos."
He's in prison right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said there was only 4.
No, I said that's all you could see.
Well, I'm misinterpreting. Okay. I'll be back.
Famous last words.
Don't say you'll be back, because he won't be back. Malcolm's speech to Hammond about the dangers of Jurassic Park are condensed from the novel. Scientific power is like inherited wealth, attained without discipline. You read what others have done, and you take the next step. You can do it very young. You can make progress very fast. There is no discipline lasting many decades. There is no mastery. Old scientists are ignored. There is no humility before nature. There is only get rich quick, make a name for yourself, fast philosophy. Cheat, lie, falsify, it doesn't matter. Not to you, nor to your colleagues. No one will criticize you. No one has any standards. This may have been edited by the movie to make Malcolm seem less arrogant. I didn't get arrogance from him. I got rock star vibe. I got
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think that him saying that would have been out of his character either.
No.
Because he basically said it. He's like, you didn't stop to think whether you should. You just wanted to know if you could.
Yeah, exactly.
Grant fashioning a functioning seatbelt with only 2 latches and no latch plate foreshadows a later scene where the dinosaurs are able to breed despite that they were all originally female. Jeff Goldblum described how his iconic semi-supine pose came to be. He vaguely recalled director Steven Spielberg slyly asking him to unbutton and rub oil on his chest.
Oh my god.
Kurt Russell turned down the role.
Are you coming on to me?
Yeah,
what's going on here?
I'm not into that, man. Kurt Russell turned down the role of Dr. Alan Grant due to salary demands. That would have been an interesting one.
Yeah.
We spared no expense. After the park goes completely to hell and his beloved grandchildren and Dr. Grant go missing, he talks with Dr. Sadler, tries to explain the park to her. She points out that the park was always doomed. Hammond is clearly completely broken, and she tries to make him feel better by complimenting the ice cream. And he once again says, without any of his previous pride, we spared no expense. On closer examination, this line is somewhat ironic, as there are indications it only really applies to things like celebrity speakers and gourmet food. Whereas shortcuts have been taken with equipment and safety measures, this adds to the themes of illusion and the arrogance of believing they have more control than they do. It also fits with Hammond's character as a showman and someone who has big ideas but is oblivious to the realities involved. The Dilophosaurus was sculpted by Adam Jones of Tool. Despite being a much kinder, gentle person in the movie, he is a mean old man from the novel. John Hammond's repeated claim that he spared no expense is a lie. Perhaps the single most important park employee is Dinah Snedry. I brought that up, yeah. I guess maybe that could speak to why the plot was left in. He's a helpful hint in that. What's up,
right,
man?
yeah.
Didn't Adam Jones play Indiana Jones?
No.
No, that was Harrison Ford, bud.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just because they got the same last name doesn't mean they're played by the same people.
This I found weird. Charlie Sheen was considered for the role of Nedry. I think Wayne Knight works much better.
Yeah, I don't like that.
The original ending had a rib from the T-Rex skeleton skewer one of the raptors and the jaw drops and kills the other, but it seemed too phony and the crew approached Steven Spielberg to come up with a better ending. They all pitched ideas, but Spielberg came up with the finale. He needed the T-Rex to be the star at the end. In the novel, the lawyer and John Hammond have completely opposite physical traits and personalities. Gennaro is a former football player, and he actually manages to fight off a velociraptor, and is a frank, sympathetic family man who quickly copes with the situation, helping both Muldoon and Dr. Grant in time. On the contrary, Hammond is in fact the main antagonist in the book. He is portrayed as being very short, as well as cold, egotistical, hot-tempered, and manipulative, using his grandchildren to soften Gennaro and completely neglecting them when they go missing. In the end, he refuses to accept reality, making absurd plans about other parks and getting killed by dinosaurs, while Gennaro survives the ordeal. Sam Neill fumbled through several takes of giving Tim CPR, trying to avoid physical contact. Finally, with Joseph Mazzello's permission, he actually performed mouth-to-mouth. Mazzello now refers to this as his first on-screen kiss. Sam Neill remembered attending the premiere with his son Tim, who farted right next to Princess Diana. The vocalizations of the raptors were made by a tiny, violently growling chihuahua. The sound of the T-Rex killing Gennaro and the Gallimimus was Gary Rydstrom's Jack Russell Terrier, Buster, shaking a rope toy in his mouth, recorded and slowed down because he thought a T-Rex would sound just like that. Buster also provided the sound for the T-1000i spiking a metal hospital guard in Terminator 2 Judgment Day. So that dog's pretty famous. That's it.
All right. Jackson, are you going to pick our movie for next week?
Hit 17.
Huh?
17.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
Slacking over there. All right. I'll just bring it.
Ignore the junk behind it.
All right. Pick a side of the movie. Just swash it around and we'll go from there.
Don't look, don't cheat.
Speed.
Sweet. Another movie I haven't seen in 100 years.
Oh, I love that movie. It's a shame.
Speed. Keanu Reeves.
Eye candy. Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good action movie. All right.
Not so much the second one.
Huh?
So not so much the second one.
I've never seen the second one.
That's the name of the movie.
Oh,
Sit down.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe was the bad guy. Put a bomb on a boat. Jason Patrick was the new love interest.
Yeah, I know that.
Gay. All right. Oh shit! What'd I do? I'm always doing some shit.
You're messing around, Swaying.
I'm the slacker.
All right. Next week we're gonna do Speed. Don't forget to check out those socials. This went on forever.
We've had longer ones.
Have we? I think we went 240 once. Yeah. Oh boy, this was a lot. I didn't honestly think that this one was gonna take this long.
2-hour movie.
2.5 hour podcast. Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, but you're talking about it rather than
Right.
it just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it's
So next week we're gonna do Speed, Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, Dennis Hopper, some classic action, man. Classic action. Next week, check us out. Be there, be square, losers. Bye.
Okay, bye.